All right, what's up? Welcome to Juice Opinions is Loose. Hopefully, it's going to become the Insane Terminator Juice podcast pretty soon here. I know T's on vacation. Robert and Retro Death, they're hanging out with their lady friends. So it's just going to be me and Terrell to start. Sandstorm joining later. There's Terrell.
Sorry.
It's all right. You know, I just created the podcast.
I was making some Pop Tarts and I was like, well, fuck you. Let me.
Pop
This is not
Tarts.
the best timing, but it's all right. We in here. We in here. We in here. We in here. We in here.
So I played the OLED in handheld mode for the first time since the day Metroid Prime came out. That was the last time I played in portable mode with the OLED. And I have forgotten how good this damn thing looks. Breath of the
What were you
Wild.
playing? Yeah, I was like, were you playing Breath of the Wild with it?
Breath of the Wild looks incredible. Except for if you go to the start and you're looking at your outfits,
Yeah.
the Link model is he's a little blurry up close. But it's not terrible. But I put on the rubber outfit because it's a thunderstorm
Yeah.
with the thunder helm, and I was like, that looks a little blurry. But overall, I mean, just looking at the menu, looking at my outfits, it's sharp. Game looks really good. It's
You got
just
it on right now. I hear it in the
yeah.
background.
Which
Sounds
area?
magical.
So
Oh,
I'm looking for swift carrots, and I'm in Kakariko, but I think I gotta wait for night. Cause I had this idea. I'm watching Gab Smulders still. She's still playing,
yeah.
and it's so funny. At the beginning, I was kind of ripping her play style because she sucked at the combat, and she'd sit there and chop down trees with all her good weapons, and I'm like, oh no! She asked for tips and stuff. I don't know if she saw mine in particular, but I'm like, quit. I said, quit using your good weapons to chop down trees. I said, use a bomb. It knocks the tree down. Then throw out your other bomb type, which you don't have to wait to recharge, and it instantly turns your trees into the wood. And she's I don't know if you did the Tari Town quest to completion in the
I don't
game,
think I don't think I
because you
finished
need
it.
like 10 bundles of wood, and then the next time you need 30 bundles of wood, and the last time you need 50. So
No, I think I started it, but I don't think I
that is
finished
the
it.
best quest in the game too. That's the one. Just thinking about it right now, that's the one I think you would appreciate the most. It's got the most, I wouldn't say anime-ish story to it, but it has a pretty cool moment. I don't know if you've seen it or heard about it, but
I've heard about literally everyone who talks about Breath of the Wild always talks about that
you gotta do
specific
it.
one.
But anyway, so I told her early on, like, watching her use the sword, and she's damaging like really good weapons to knock trees down, and I was like, yeah, use your bombs. And then there was something else too. I forget what it was, but now I was watching her latest video, and she's by a stable which there's a bunch of trees, and she just threw a bomb, knocked it down, and then she threw the other one. I don't know if it was my comment or other people. She basically took down about 20 trees using my technique. So I'm watching a technique I didn't know. I'm not, who knows who else used it. I felt like it was something I just did. Maybe out of the 20 million people that played Breath of the Wild, I feel like that was something that was I've always felt was unique that I just figured out. I'm sure others did it, but seeing her do it, and I'm like, yeah, I did leave a comment. Maybe she saw it, maybe she didn't, or she just figured it out. It was just so cool to see. Oh, the other thing is she's upgrading all her gear. So she said her first playthrough, she just looked up, she pulled a Robert and looked up where all the shrines were, and did like the last 60 or so, just going from one to the other using a guide.
Right.
And on this playthrough, she said she didn't even care about the gear because she wasn't climbing, she wasn't swimming much, and you get all the perks. Each piece of gear has perks, and then if you get three, and you level them up, you get an additional benefit. Like you can climbing, you can use your lunge, and it hardly takes any of your stamina if you're wearing all three of the climbing gear. So she said this time She's really excited about the gear. She gets excited when she gets the third piece to complete a set, and just seeing her spend literally 30 minutes of her stream she uploaded upgrading all her gear and then sorting it using the Y button to sort, so you know it's all back in order. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, man, she's come so far. She went from the first time playing when it came out, not caring about that stuff, to when she started her second stream doing all these. She was just a noob and listening to all this advice. People were telling her, "Hey, sort your stuff. You're everything's out of order. If you hit the Y button twice, then it sorts all your items together." And seeing her just come this far, and like basically it was like watching me play. She spent all that time using bombs to get wood, and then she spent like 30 minutes upgrading all her gear. So I was inspired. I left about a handful of pieces of gear that I didn't fully upgrade.
Yeah.
Usually because like the fireproof outfit, I'm like, I'm never gonna wear this. And you need like fireproof lizards and a bunch of stuff. Smoldering butterflies. I'd never collected butterflies. So I was like, you know what do I have left? So I just booted the game up, 30 minutes ago. And I had the Twilight Princess gear. You got to get star fragments, which is a pain. There is a way to farm them, kind of a cheat to make sure they fall. But I got to do the Twilight Princess, all three pieces, the fireproof, and there was a couple other miscellaneous. And one I needed Swift Carrot, so I just put that on my Sheikah sensor. And I'm just like, why did I really want
Got you,
100% the gear
got you
upgrades.
sucked. Got you sucked
And
right
then I
back
got to
in,
look to
bro.
see if I'm missing any. I don't think I am. I think I have everything the game had to offer for outfits.
Right.
A lot of it's non-upgradable, like a lot of the DLC stuff's non-upgradable, like Rex's outfit and the Tingle's outfit. You can't upgrade them, but the ones that are fully maxed, like you could just devastate a Guardian if you level max the final outfit you get with 120 shrines, and you just level it up, and it has like amazing Guardian defense, and like some of the items stack attack, like your barbarian outfit stack like adds attack bonuses, and if you combine that with potions and stuff, and your weapon, depending on the weapon, you can like really become OP with that. So either way, I was just really like so proud, I guess, watching her journey from where she started, thinking it's her least favorite Zelda game, to just now like she's fully into it, fully invested, and got all the mechanics down and stuff. It's really cool to see. So it's something I want to do
Like
is
a
just finishing up the gear. Why did
felt like a proud father in
yeah.
that moment.
So
She's come so far.
but we'll talk more about Zelda later on. I do want to say I am on chapter 4 of Resident Evil 4, and
Okay, I
I'm
think
really enjoying it.
okay, you're around where I'm at then. I
I'm in the
think.
boat going around. I already
Yeah, I already did
defeated
that.
the lake monster, which was
Oh, you already. Oh, so you're doing the. We have to get the
the two
puzzle pieces.
pieces.
So you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just finished that chapter last week.
I don't
So
remember that in the original game, like going around having to do stuff in the boat. Could be wrong.
I
It's
was
been a long time, but
I was curious if it was something like new or what, but
it
because
doesn't feel familiar. That's why I don't know.
but yeah, I just did that. I don't. I mean, you've played the game. I mean, you if the game is about the same from when you played it, then you already know what you're about to do next. I'll just say you get Ashley by the end of the
Oh
chapter you
dear.
just
I
started.
felt
Yeah.
I felt like I fought El Gigantor before I got Ashley, but I guess not.
Yo, yeah, because you haven't fought him yet. Because he's in this chapter, the
Hmm.
chapter you're on right now. That was an interesting fight for that being my first.
Did you help the
Uh,
wolf out of the trap?
yeah, I did. So
Okay.
he came and helped me. He came and helped me, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool as fuck." And then I died the first time I fought him. Went fuck me. He did that thing where he what was it? I think he grabs you, and if you don't have a way of like stabbing, if you
So
have
you
like
don't
no
have a
knives in
knife.
that, then he just crushes you. And I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh my god!" But I did that on stream. That was a pretty enjoyable fight, all things considered. It pissed me off because I knew there was a boss. Like when you first go through the area, it's like whoa, what's this big hammer for? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh. And then I walk through this area. I'm like, oh, it's an arena. I'm about to do a boss fight. You go through it. Okay, nothing triggered. Oh, is it one of those things I got to do everything else, and then when I leave, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
so on the way back out, and I was so tempted. I was so close money wise to getting the rocket launcher. I was so tempted. I was like, I don't need it, but god damn it,
It take up a lot of
because I
space in the old briefcase.
yeah. So I have every other gun except for the rocket launcher, I believe. The because you get the recipes to make like the flash grenades and stuff, and I was like, I don't really use flash grenades like that. I use normal grenades more than flash grenades. Um, I have got to get used to the mobbing. This game's mobbing is just not.
Yeah, I've restarted a section like 20 times. Not maybe 20, maybe like 10 times where you fall when you're walking and
Yeah,
then you fall. I
yeah.
restarted that. I got close to the end and then I just like wasted like 4 or 5 shots. I just want to say we got Marcos in the chat. What's up? Donnie, Lenny, and Lil Cray. What's up, guys?
Yo.
Talking about RE4 remake. What did you get it on? Xbox?
Yeah, I'm on Xbox.
Yeah, I hear. Good thing you didn't get it on PC. It's very demanding, and even cards with like 10 gigs of VRAM are struggling, and you have like 6, I think, and you're with your card.
Yeah.
You're gonna run
I
into.
just
You're gonna need a new graphics card. My buddy's been kept keeping up with this, and the VRAM issue is becoming really a big problem right now with new
kind of
games because
I
PS4.
kind of I figured as much, so I was just kind of like, well, and plus that I bought this $500 console. I think I should get games for it. God damn it! So, although there are some graphical hitches, I've noticed where like shit doesn't load in all the way immediately when you first get into an area, or when you first load in an area. I've run into any crazy glitches, just a bunch of weird graphical things every once in a while.
From what I've heard, though, you'd really struggle to run that with your 2060, I think, is what you have. But what's up,
Yeah,
Matthew? We got Prince Revolver here.
Revolver.
As soon as I bought my PS5, literally, I stopped caring about doing anything to my PC. That's just like I got the Vega 64, which is plenty good for what I use. Just I was playing Rocket League, which was fine with, but I don't even play that anymore. So I have no interest in putting money into my PC. My
I'm kind
CPU's
of
getting dated, my graphics cards dated. I don't even care. I got the PS5. I'm
I'm
really
not in
content.
a I'm not in a huge rush. I got other things to focus on anyway. So I'm and the Xbox Series X kind of fills the third party needs since I don't have a PS5 currently. We'll see
They still had that 500 and 507 with God of War. That was still going on till I think yesterday or today.
yeah, that's what it was. They said it ended on the 16th.
Man,
So
that was
there's been a lot. It's funny because I don't remember if I brought this up in the call, like in the podcast. Is the rumors are floating around for a new handheld for
yeah.
PlayStation, and then they got the discless. I'm very confused by the statement, but the discless PS5. I'm like, wasn't that just the digital version?
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like they're essentially giving you the option to have an attachable disc drive if you want it, because it's supposedly supposed to work for if you bought like a digital only uh PS5, you can attach this disc
I
option.
think honestly, that's the way to go because you can make the system so much smaller, and then if somebody just wants a digital, you only have one version. And if you want to buy the optional disk drive, to me that almost what they should have done to start with. But if it can greatly reduce the size of a system, I'm kind of for it. Prince Revolver, I don't get the guys that are PC all for everything. I can't. I tried it. I just can't. There's too well. I don't know about even now. There's even more issues. There's too much inconsistency with games actually being ported well and having decent performance. You have, I mean, the chase for a decent rig. How long ago did you build your PC? You think like 3 years?
Um, yeah, I think we're coming on 3 years.
You spent a good amount at that. I mean, no offense, just like mine. That thing is so out of date now. Like you wouldn't be able to run Returnal. I think
Yeah,
Returnal on PC causes issues. Last of Us, you have to have like 12 gigs of VRAM. Just the CPUs and everything. They've come so far since when we built. It's just a never-ending deal. And
The only advantage, the major advantage of gaming on PC is probably the financial aspect because of how much you can get so much of that shit on sale. But the way I always looked at it was this simply because I said this about when I first bought my PS4 Pro, I tried to go digital only for that. The biggest problem is unless you are a gamer who waits for new releases, there is no intrinsic value in going digital only. And if you're a person who buys a game day and date, there's no advantage because you're essentially still spending the same amount of money for less of a product essentially. Because like now
yeah,
I
and
just don't
then
get the
they
go
can
ahead.
they can take it off the store, or they can patch something out or in that you don't want to play that version. You don't have the option to play the day one version off from the
Yeah.
disc, and
Yeah.
that's the other negative of PC. It's just like you only have digital, like, and you got a Steam library now. You got an Epic library. You got a freaking uh, whatever Blizzard uses. Uh, Ubisoft's failed, but you got three or four different libraries,
Yeah,
unless you only did Steam, I guess. And again, if you're playing your games in the same place your PC is anyway, I guess fine. But to me, like, I'm not putting a PC in my living room. Yeah, I could run a long extension cord, but and do some kind of wireless. I think there's a way to do that for controllers and stuff, but
yeah, there is.
you got, I don't know how many times I've started my computer, booted up Steam, and my controller's now doesn't work, doesn't get recognized. So then I have to actually do a full restart for the controller to work. That's happened to me with Rocket League. That happened to me
Using an Xbox controller?
Xbox controller. Then when I tried the Wii U controller on the CEMU emulator and PlayStation controllers, it happened to me so much that I was just like, because I played Rocket League, 5 times a day or
Yeah.
5 days a week for a while,
Yeah, same difference.
and couple times a month at least, my controller just wouldn't work. And then you got driver updates, which you have updates on systems. Sometimes the update will break something in the game, and it's just like, I just don't understand that being your main gaming. Plus, you're missing out on how many frickin' exclusive Switch, and obviously people here, they're probably um, own a Switch if they're watching this, but so you
Yeah,
can't.
most PC gamers already kind of came to the conclusion a couple years ago. The best combination is a Switch and a PC. That's what I have been hearing for a while. Switch and PC, Switch and PC. Particularly because once people found out the PlayStation titles were coming to PC, they were like, "Yeah, I don't need this shit." I mean,
Yeah, they're
Xbox wasn't even
coming,
in the
but they're
conversation.
not all of them,
Then,
and they're like a year, 2 years after. So it's like,
yeah,
is that really? And then the other thing too, like the price now of, like, if you were gonna build a PC now comparable to what you built back then, like a comparable specs for the era, you would
yeah,
be spending 2 grand minimum. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it anymore. Like, graphic cards, they're getting more powerful, but they're getting more expensive. Like the the 20, I don't know what would be the equivalent of the 2060 now. They just released the
one,
4070, and it's like $600.
oh yeah, you can go, yeah,
And
yeah,
then if you want like 32 gigs of RAM, I haven't priced it in a while, but I'm gonna guess 150, 200 probably for 32
right,
gigs. And
yeah.
then your CPU, if you can use the same cooler and stuff, that's fine. If you don't want to buy a new case and all that, and it's like, it's just really expensive. Now, if you're using a computer for something else, that's cool. Um, but just to build like a gaming PC, to me, it's so expensive now. If you wanted to play Cyberpunk at the new extreme ray tracing global illumination, you gotta have a 4090, and that's a $2,000 graphics card, and you still have to use DLSS just to get it at 60. Otherwise, it's like 20 frames per second. And that's like, plus, if you're gonna buy that, then you're gonna buy the best CPU, which is gonna be 500-600 bucks. Like, it's just very expensive. So for
It
me,
depends. It kind of depends on what kind of gamer you are. I think, ironically enough, if you're someone who doesn't buy, like I said, if you don't buy the newest games as soon as they come out, I could see you be investing in a PC and it being a smart investment because there's consistent amount of sales. There's like three or four. There's like multiple different sites you can go to get the same game for like cheaper. And you have a huge library to work with. And if you're someone who doesn't mind waiting, that means you don't mind waiting a couple years for a PlayStation game to finally pop up on the Steam library. Now, that's fine. I mean, it's the same way I look at a Game Pass. Game Pass is cool for those who want to like spend a small amount of money and get the biggest bang for your buck, and you don't care about any of the other competition's new releases. Like it's very much for the lapsed gamer, the gamer who doesn't like need to get the newest game as soon as it drops. You can wait a year or two. But if you're someone who's trying to stay up to date to every single new experience, oh, ray tracing, 4K, the experimental 8K, VR, all that other shit, oh yeah, it's a financial hell.
But
It's
even to
financial hell.
have a comparable to PS5 and Series X, if you were like, and obviously you can use PC for other things, it's multi-purpose. But if you're like, all
Yeah.
right, I want to get into PC gaming, and you want something that was comparable to what you already have with a Series X, I mean, you're spending $1,500 if you have to buy everything. Like if you have nothing, which most people, even if you have an old case, you might not. Your case you have, you might be like, that does it. Like if you had, let's say you had a smaller case, the new graphics cards won't even fit because they're big, they're longer
Right.
than these. I can't. I have my Vega 64. I have a millimeter from the end of the graphics card to the fan. It just fit, which I think it looks cool that way. But there's just so many options with like to get the performance and get just the ease of use of a $500 system. The PC equivalent to that is, I mean, 12 to 1500. So, whatever. Well, we don't get it in any more of that. Let me ask you, how many hours do you have in Elden Ring now? Because I feel like you got to
I think
be
around
close to like 80, 90.
no, I think I'm at like 50 or 50 something, I believe.
Really? You're at level
Yeah,
70 and you're only 50 hours in? Okay.
73 because I killed that fucking asshole and he gave me like what was it 90,000 or
Same
was it
technique
90?
you were using with your
The
Ashes
thrust.
of War thrust.
Yeah, it's the difference. And I saw because I saw your video and I was kind of like, yeah, I see what you did there. Um, and the funny thing is, I fought a mimic tier boss, but I don't. I guess it's not the thing that drops the item that
There's
makes
a
you lets
second
you.
one that drops the actual mimic tier.
Oh, okay. So I've beaten the first one. I've beaten the second one, but yeah, the thing because I fought him twice. There's one where you go out to. It's not. Where is the? I guess it's in. It's not. I think it's in Limgrave or like towards the left side of the map. There's like this village of like everyone laughing and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you go all the way up to the top, he's there. So I had fought him already before, and I knew
The same
the
dude?
general. It's yeah, it's almost this. It's almost the exact same fight. Like I actually would argue
He's got to be
the
harder this on that other iteration though.
no. The one that I was trying recently, that's the hard iteration because a lot of his attacks, like when he gets into his second phase and he starts doing whirlwinds and
Mm-hmm.
shit, and that is when you're outside, you can kind of get away from him way easier. Whereas if he gets you caught in a corner, I'm just dying to that crap. The worst thing about him is that he is very much not a boss for me personally. I would say designed for the inside. That's what makes this fight harder. Is that you're kind of trapped with a lot of his long reaching ass moves. He's doing some when he stretches across the thing and spins his thing
That's
and
when we
comes
want to
at you.
dodge towards him and get past his attacks. But
Yeah, I've gotten down his pattern. It's very much my issue was just the fact that it only for you, he smack you and you could take like 3 more hits before you even be dead.
plus,
With me,
I
it's
shielded
like
a.
one. It's like oh yeah, you did shield a lot, but for me it's like 1, 2, and I'm just out. Like that's it. So I'm extremely paranoid during that whole fight because I know all he has to do is get me with two hits out of a combo. I'm done. I can't take a whole combo from him.
Time to
Just
invest in some
give me the burger
vitality.
out. Yeah, that's what my goal
Mine's
is
at
moving forward.
50 or 48, I think.
So the only boss I've run across that I need to still kill is those goddamn two gargoyles that you say were like the hardest fight in the game.
They are.
Um, I
You got to find the
that
right weapon. I think that might be the one I used. The great sword. Finally used the
if
great
my
sword.
issue is just killing. Essentially, what I have to do is make the fight trivial. Like, if I can make the first gargoyle a joke, when I get to that point, then I'm fine. The problem is the first gargoyle isn't a goddamn joke, and that's my problem. Like, I've gotten kind of close. I've gotten a little bit under
Did you
half of the
defeat
killing.
either of them yet?
No,
Okay. Yeah,
and the
you're.
thing, and I know how it is. I know how it is. It's one of those. You're just gonna have to get good or go back and grind. And I want to just beat his ass now, but he's not gonna let
I
me
don't
do it.
think. I think I want to say clocked it. He wasn't 70 when he beat it because he talked
What
me
was he
into.
like? What was he? Lower levels?
I want to say he was lower, but I don't. I don't know. It's been a while. For anybody that don't know, Elden Ring, there's like dual gargoyles in the Nokron city under. So you got
Yeah,
to the gargoyles. See, you did what I did. That's the area when I was telling that story about a freaking ledge where you drop down and there's like a
yeah,
whole nother huge area. That's where the
yeah,
mimic
yeah,
tier is.
yeah. I dropped down, and I was like, "Where the hell am I at?" And then if you go up, there's like a river. I think it's a waterfall realistically, but you're walking through it, and then you start getting attacked by these like mobs and shit. And I kept running the opposite direction. You go all the way up, and then you divot to the right, and then there's the entrance to the boss. And I went in there, and I'm like, "Fuck, this dude's a pain in the ass." The main thing that hurts me, and actually it hurt me with the I forget what he's called, the one I just beat,
Godskin or God something.
Godskin, is that you're right. The jellyfish is a really good summon. You know what the problem is? When you go to approach him while he's attacking the jellyfish, he has the potential to like in mid combo switch targets and
Mm.
attack you. So he'll start the combo on the jellyfish, and then he'll do the final swipe, and he'll go ha, and I'm like, what? Like, it
Yeah, I
happened
was
to me like 3 or 4 times,
I wish I
bro.
would have I started my a video I was recording and I was 15 minutes in and I died to that dude like 10 different times. I was trying a lower level weapon. I was trying dual swords. I was trying just a standard shield in a regular sword, and he was destroying me. Like I was almost embarrassed by it. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like I kept saying because I planned on uploading it. I was like, "Well, you're getting to see getting to see me get my ass kicked," and I switched to the Bloodhound Fang. I think you got to have really high dexterity,
You
or
do.
um, I
I'm
want to
still
say it
not
was
at
like
the I'm still not at the point of rocking like quality armor and being able to hold like a great sword without it being like, oh, you got a heavy load. And I'm
yeah.
like,
Well, it
fuck.
wasn't just the weight. I think dexterity's super high in that. But anyway,
No, it is.
it did like 1,000 something down. All the other swords are doing like 200, and it did like 1,000 something per hit. Plus, I had the bonus when you jump attack. It does more. And I was like, holy crap. That was my first time trying them with that weapon after I just stopped recording. And it just looked like I just cakewalked him. But I know at that point in the game, I was just pulling out the mimic tier and destroying bosses because I was trying to get through. I was just trying to get the game done.
Oh, really?
I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be a no summons, no spirit summons guy. I was like, oh, I'm gonna beat this boss and just keep moving. Like that was my mindset. So now I'm trying not to summons, unless it's a repeating annoying boss in a lot of caverns and
Well,
catacombs.
if you never fought the Godskin outside, then
I
that
went to
you
that
gotta.
little town. That's in the
Yeah, if
south,
you if you
south of
go
Limgrave.
yeah, if you go all the way up to the top, it's like a little hill where like it's a whole village,
Mm-hmm.
but like you have to kind of go across, and these people will attack you. And I was like, man, fuck this. Let me see what's up here in this top building, and then all of a sudden see the boss health. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
I
You don't
think
even
you
have a
face another
door.
one in. You sure that wasn't in the capital region with like the autumn colors? Because there's a windmill village.
No.
Did you see a
Oh,
wind?
is that the one? And maybe that's the one I'm thinking of then.
Did you see the windmills?
Yeah, I saw the windmills.
Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah,
Okay,
I fought
then
one
so
like that
now
there,
that I've beaten him twice. Then this is the
and I
second
feel
time
like
I've.
that one was way easier for me. But again,
That one is an easier fight because the one enclosed in a space is just he's way too erratic for me to be able to deal with like in an enclosed space where my dodging is somewhat limited. On top of the fact that they put this dickhead of an enemy right here when you have to run by him and shit. I originally was using the wolves. You know what the wolves do? They turn
Yeah,
around and
I
they'll
see
attack
that.
the guy at the door.
Well,
And I'm like,
that
fuck.
dude's hard. And
He is.
he responds. So
That's why I
anyway,
was like, I'm not about
I
to go
talked to
ahead with him.
Retro Death, and he said he beat Margit, and he's just got into the castle, and he said he went up the outside into the up the wooden things along the side, and he said he encountered a dude with a halberd, the dude with the swirling, and he
Yeah.
died, and he thought he lost a bunch of progress and got really far. So, dude, you just barely scratched the surface of the castle. Like, you're like
Yeah.
5%. Like, there's a grace site not too far past that guy. And yeah, those guys are a pain in the ass. The one thing I do appreciate is the guys with armor and shields. They're like the hardest enemies in the game, and that's kind of how it should be. This fully armored knight in like full armor with this giant shield should be hard to defeat, and they are. There's even at a level 160, you're still gonna have trouble with these dudes if you're trying to be aggressive. So, and it's just one of
Yeah.
those things, like seeing you post that video after you beat a difficult boss, how excited and the relief in your voice, like
Well,
that's the point. That's the joy.
it pissed me off because I spent so obviously you saw me fight O'Neal. What was it? I forget his full name, but the kid, the one you beat on the horse. I fought him and I was like, well, I mean, technically I won, but I'm not necessarily happy about the victory because I had to do the dumbass.
That's how you fight them.
I feel like you could,
because that whole area is toxic. That whole area is meant for you to be on the horse, in my opinion.
So I fought him, beat him, and I was like, okay, cool, he's done. I'm not in love with it. Then I found there's two of them in a boss fight where they both have like long ranged ass. One has a long ass mace, and the other one has like a long ass sword. And it's in like this village in Kaled, where like the doors are locked off and you have to light the fires to
That's the one area
doors.
where Retro said was his progress was being blocked by story, and I tried to. That was part of that debate, and I was like, "Dude, that's a puzzle. It is
a puzzle." So I fought them, and I'm like, "Okay,
they aren't too bad."
No, they're not. It took me maybe 2 or 3 tries to kill them, but I felt like I was over level for them because I'm doing stupid damage on the first couple of hits. I'm like, my dogs were fucking up one of them. So I was like, well, shit, you aren't even a problem. Actually, the dog, when I died, the dogs had already killed one of them just in the background. This shit was hilarious to me. So I'm like, okay, we're making some progress tonight. Then I get to that area, that whole long.
I'm surprised you got to the bottom. That's one of the hardest things for me in the game was figuring out to get to the bottom of that.
It was a bitch until I realized I'm not supposed to jump in a lot of those sections.
Just walk off.
Why is everybody calling me right now? What the fuck is happening? Sorry.
All right, we probably should move on from Elden Ring talk anyway, because people that haven't played it don't know what the hell we're talking about. But
yeah, hold on.
So,
and I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay, I'll just continue. I'll talk about Resident Evil 4. My impressions after I'm on chapter 4. I don't know how many hours I'm in. 4 or 5. It's different than the original. It feels very Resident Evil, but also doesn't quite feel the same as RE4, and it doesn't quite feel like RE2 remake either. It's interesting, but I am enjoying it. Also, we'll talk about the Mario movie a little bit when Terrell gets back because he saw it twice. I do want to say, now I'm not offended. Somebody thought I was being too negative about the Mario movie, or they thought that the whole discussion kind of didn't have the joy and excitement of that they wanted for Nintendo fans talking about the Mario movie. I get that, but at the same time, T hadn't seen the movie, so we had to dance around a lot of specifics. So I felt like it just kind of flowed into a discussion about some of the general complaints from the reviewers and how we felt about that. Obviously, I was leading the conversation. I said many times that it was a bad movie-going experience and I needed to see the movie again, but I was just going off my my initial thoughts, and I could understand somebody saying that they thought it was strange that Bowser had this obsession with Peach, because in the movie they didn't really take any time to set that up. So that's kind of where we were coming from. I didn't want to get into specifics for T. I already feel like we kind of possibly said too much, influenced maybe him too much. I am curious what Terrell's thoughts are. I haven't seen it twice. The Sonic fanboy. He was the first one to see the Mario movie, and he's the first one to see it a second time. Obviously, he's on a call. But basically, I'm just gonna I'm gonna repeat something how it should have ended. Did like a movie review thing with two other people. It was by far the most negative, nitpicky review I had seen. It was really bad, but he said it perfect. And I should get it exactly what he said, but basically, he said what I didn't really clearly say was my main and biggest issue with the movie. He said they feels like they cut out the fat, but for him, that fat is depth. It's character bonding moments. It's world building moments. And instead of that, they just had all the major action set pieces lined up in a row, basically, and just got to it. Got to all that stuff, and then cut out the fat. What he said was like the character depth. Like I wanted more bonding moments. I wanted a setup of why Bowser's obsessed with Peach. I wanted a setup I wanted Mario and Donkey Kong to have more bonding in the movie, have more dialogue, have more moments together. I wanted Peach and Mario to have more moments together. So in a way, my biggest complaint was I wanted more. And I didn't have the best movie going experience. I'm reserving any more judgment until I see the movie a second time, and it's going to be in my own home cinema. However long it takes for it to hit Peacock, that's the next time I'll be watching it. If I don't feel any different, then I'm not going to buy it on 4K Blu-ray until a price drop. But if I'm like, wow, this was so much better than my first experience, I really misjudged this movie. My expectations were one thing, and the movie gave me something else. Now that I know what the movie's giving me, maybe I'll feel completely different about it. So I'm waiting until that moment to give any more thoughts on the movie itself. But I did want to kind of explain. But I'm not mad at somebody saying, "Oh, you guys were too negative." That's fine. If you came to the podcast hoping Nintendo Mario fans would be all excited and stuff, I can't be mad at you. Just like I can't be mad at somebody who thought, like I did, they wished there was a little more depth to the story and it didn't go so fast. So Visor Grunt said, people afraid to say the critics were right about the storytelling and pacing. I don't know if they're afraid to, but it's like for some people they don't mind that kind of stuff. I know Sandstorm, you were kind of eating, you kind of didn't get a chance to say too much about the movie. I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody saying, "Man, I wanted them to slow down and give me a little more in the world." Like, to me, that's not a major flaw. It's just, I think it just kind of went by too fast. I don't know, but your mic's off. You're muted. You're muted on Discord. So Terrell,
you are muted on Discord. What's up?
I'm gonna see if I can unmute it. There you go.
Am I good?
There you go.
It's not the right mic though, I'll tell you that. It's not your go into your little cogwheel at the bottom left of Discord.
Yeah, go in your settings. It's probably set to your desktop mic or some bullshit.
It's either a webcam or your headset.
Yeah, Logitech mic.
It's not even plugged in. Okay.
Oh damn!
So Terrell,
What's up?
you're the Sonic guy. You're the first one to see the Mario movie. You're the first one to see it twice. So did anything change? Did you like it more? Did it same for you? What was your second experience like?
So, just to give context, the reason why I even watched it twice is my friend had been hearing a lot of good things. Like, apparently everyone around him is just saying the movie was amazing. You gotta go see it, family or by yourself. It's great. And I was like, and he looked at me and goes, "Well, you're the only one who's giving it like a B plus. Like, you haven't said it was absolutely amazing." People people are really enjoying this film. So I feel bad that I don't enjoy it as much as they do, but I'm happy they're enjoying it. So he was like, "You want to go Thursday and watch?" I said, "Fuck it, you know what? Fine," because I need to make sure this B+ thing I got in my mind is a good lockdown. And so we actually went to a better theater. Bitch was good. The movie looks even better. I can only imagine if I had like a proper home theater set up, the shit would look immaculate on the wall. Um, so visually it still kicks off. I finally went. I had listened to the soundtrack on Apple Music before watching the movie. Man, some of them tracks hit even harder, dog. The music is great. I cannot understate that. The music's so good, especially that DK track they didn't end up using.
I know, that's such a bummer.
It's so good. I finally got to listen to it. I was like, that's great. But as far as the overall movie itself, I'm about the same with it. And I'm at least happy that it didn't go down for me. Part of the reason why it didn't go down for me is that some of them action set pieces just do it for me. Like the one towards the end of it where Mario and Donkey Kong are kind of storming to get to the castle. That is like my favorite sequence. The theme that plays there and the sequence itself. Peach is still a weak ass character that didn't really change. I still love Mario and Luigi's brotherly dynamic.
I'm not trying to spin this, but I'm asking. My memory is like I said, it's like super condensed because I was sick, and I feel like, I mean, I've even watched some clips while people are reviewing it. I'm like, I don't even remember that. Like, I don't even remember that moment. Did Mario and Donkey Kong have much am I remembering that wrong or right?
They
that they
do,
didn't have
but
a whole lot.
They do, but it's like in bite-sized moments. Like for example, that if you're going from like when they first fight, Donkey Kong talks some shit to him when they get back into the village, and he's like, "I let you win, by the way," that kind of shit. There's a little bit of him fucking with him when Peach and him are talking on Rainbow Road.
That got eaten by the eel too.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite interaction. That's like the moment where they kind of bond over the fact that their fathers don't really respect them. I did miss the moment where he's like, "I'm not a smash monkey," which tells me because DK is like, I don't like that being what I'm being viewed as. And he very much wants his dad's like approval. And I forgot it because in the beginning when he's first introduced and you hear the DK rap and everything, he goes, "Hey dad," and he's trying to get his dad's attention like the whole time. And I didn't notice that the first time, or at least not as much. So there are definitely moments in there but they're really fucking subtle. So I can easily see someone who doesn't care or isn't paying attention to be like, "Oh, well, they don't really interact much." Well, they do. It's just not like in your face. It's not like, hey, it's not like this whole scene is just Donkey Kong and Mario interacting. They have a lot of like back and forth. They're like rivals, which makes sense because of their history. They technically are dicks to each other, low key. So like, I actually like their dynamic a lot. I like his dynamic with DK, and I love his dynamic with Luigi. The Luigi stuff still hits. It's still like some of the best shit in the movie. Yeah. And I agree with you. I remember you mentioning the Brooklyn stuff in the beginning, how good that is. It's still good. It's even, I would almost argue it's better the second time when you know how short it's gonna be. It's so good. It's so good. I also noticed a couple more references I didn't notice the first time.
Yeah.
That is gonna be, if as a Mario fan, you're gonna be fucking picking apart scenes like a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Saw a balloon fight in the background the second time. I said, I didn't even remember.
We didn't talk about how Mario was actually playing like
Kid Icarus. Yeah. Shit, I was like, oh my god.
I love that weird. Shit. I love the beginning so much. It's so weird for me to like the part before the Mushroom Kingdom.
The beginning is super. The beginning is super strong. The action still holds up for me. The editing in that sequence where like they're traveling through the world and then it switches to Bowser singing about Peach and then it switches back with Peach and Mario in the garden. That flow's still kind of wonky for me because it feels like, I don't know what to call it. It feels like there's more to those scenes that are just getting cut abruptly for the sake of hour 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like I actually believe when the Blu-ray comes out and we get that extended cut, dog, I low-key think this will probably.
I'm hoping because of its success that they will do an extended version.
To me, it makes no sense not to do a extended
Unless
cut.
they just didn't finish the CG.
I think they finished it. This thing has been in development for what, 6 years, right? Was it 6 years?
They might have. They
Something
might
like
have.
that.
Your mic's kind of quiet now, Sandstorm. Do some
Oh,
testing.
man.
There, it's better when you got close.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to keep it standing.
Yeah, you
up. I
gotta
don't
keep
think
it
you're supposed
standing
to-
up too.
Now I gotta stand it up.
No,
Gosh.
how you just did
How
it.
much
You
more?
already fixed
Yeah,
it.
no, that
you had
that
already
sounds,
fixed
yeah,
it.
yeah, you got it.
You
got
can put
right
it
there.
back where it was because you already fixed it when you tilted it straight up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not made. The
Yeah.
top of the mic doesn't have audio. It's on the front face. So if
Oh,
you tip
okay.
it straight up, it would be even better.
But yeah, I very much believe, and I actually would say this for anybody, going back and watching it, I can easily see this going up for some people, especially if you're someone who notices the little. If you really like that little shit, the second time you'll catch way more, or you'll see way more little Easter eggs as a Mario fan. Because I was like, fuck, I didn't notice any of that crap in the background, or even some of even the musical cues. There were some I didn't catch, like the level, what is it, level 1-2 theme that's playing when they're in the sewers and shit. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
Yeah, that was just like a quick little jingle.
it's because it's not the whole track. It's just a and then it kind of goes off in its own, and then
Yeah.
it'll come. Actually, a lot of the music in the whole movie does that. It'll sample a Mario like a part of a theme, drift into its original score, and then it'll loop back into the Mario theme. And fuck, because I kept thinking certain OSTs were like certain tracks were only certain songs. I'm like, no, it's like the whole fucking thing. It's like goddamn experience. That's why I'm mad. I didn't want to bump it up, but I think that editing and the shortness of it is like its two weakest areas. If it was long, I hate that. It's so weird to have that as a complaint. It's too fucking short. I don't even want to say
Honestly,
that as a complaint.
I can't think of a 90-minute movie that I have on my shelf that I love. There's not a lot of 90-minute movies in my catalog.
Because it really could have justified.
It's hard to tell a compelling story and have character bonding and building in an hour and a half. It really is.
I mean, they did the best they could considering.
Yeah.
I'd be curious how long Kung Fu Panda is, because I feel like they did a really good job of that team coming
I can check
together.
real quick.
I'm gonna
I
guess
think
like
it's-
an hour 45, hour 50.
Let me see.
I think it's solely. I think they were like really worried about kids like holding on to their
No, it's an hour 32.
Is it? Okay.
interest.
That's
Yeah.
a movie that does it right, but they're they're focused on one character's perspective, so it makes it easier to basically pull.
Yeah, like they have a bunch of other characters, but like really only two or three of them get focused. Whereas here, I think they were relatively balanced for the most part.
And if they started in the Mushroom Kingdom, obviously they would have had more time for all the Mushroom Kingdom stuff.
But you like the Brooklyn shit so
Yeah.
much, you're like.
But you had to give the background to it, yeah.
And I
like-
appreciate the
background.
Brooklyn stuff. Actually, I'm curious. Here's my question: do you think we'll get more extended scenes of the Mushroom Kingdom or Brooklyn?
Only if they finish this and then they cut it for time. That's the only way we'll get anything extra. The nice thing though,
I think there's
an
stuff.
extended edition is completely different, which would give them the liberty to change songs without having to. They could still have the theatrical version stay identical. They could put that DK song back in when they're driving with Funky and take out.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
And because they extended cuts are they're their own thing. They they might not even want to pay the license for a different version.
I will say
songs.
one thing. I will say the one thing that improved that I didn't think was going to improve. Guy used the Cranky Kong's voice.
Did you?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just. I don't know if it's.
I was
don't know
the
if
same
it's
way.
It's not.
It's not horrible, but it's just
it's different than what you wanted. That's what it is.
Because you know what really did it for me when he was like the greatest army of the world. Then I'm like, yeah.
Still not what I wanted Cranky to sound like.
It's a different vibe. It's gonna take you a minute because you're so used to him sounding older and angrier, and he sounds kind of like meandering in the middle.
Yeah, he's like an old King Louis.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is. He's just King Louis, which is better than the Christopher Walken one we got, but we don't talk about that one. But still, like, for some reason, once I got to I think I cringed maybe at his introduction, after that, I was kind of Gucci for the rest of the film. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but it just
Well, once you
it
get
kind of
used to
it
something
just clicked.
versus
Yeah, I
your
can't tell.
expectation.
It's not. It's just. It's different. I think that's the thing I had to accept. It's not that it's bad. It's just different because everyone had an expectation for him.
Also, it's funny how people were really. I commented last week about the opening being the 5 days. There's still there's I guess another guy who said it was the 3 day, but I don't know. I don't know how everyone else had the 377 as the 5 day, and this one guy said it was 3 days. But either way, it was just the movie was great, are doing great. Like it was a huge success, and people focused on the fact that I just get annoyed with corporate wordplay trying to say there's no reason to say it had the highest opening for an animated film when it was 5 days versus 3 days. Like I guess it helps getting the positive press, and they had I guess they had the biggest second opening weekend possibly of all time. I didn't hear anyone else say that.
I walked in to watch it the second time, and there was a lady sitting down, and I was asking her because I went to a different movie theater, and she was like, "Oh, I got my ticket online." She was like, "Because I went to 5 different movie theaters, and they were all sold out, and this was like a matinee." You know what I mean? So I'm like,
I mean It's not like it did huge. It was like 81 million in the U.S. when it was 204 for the opening. So it wasn't like, but it still was really good. And then I think people they're still trying to find a way to make that true, that it was the highest opening for an animated film. Look, see, Juicy, it didn't even open in Japan. This one guy tagged me in a tweet. He's like, it didn't even open in Japan or South Korea, so it's not fair. And then I look, and Frozen 2 opened in 37 territories, and Mario opened in 71 or 72. So it was 37 to 72, and it still barely beat Frozen with the extra 2 days. And I was like, why are you trying? I mean, why are we trying so hard to make this be the highest animated opening of all time? And I went to reply to the guy, and he must have noticed that, and he deleted his tweet. It's like, it's fine. It did great.
Nintendo to be the standard. That's
why.
Yeah, I was like, people just want the victory.
But anyway, since then, I know it was at six something this weekend. I guess it's at 700 now. The other thing that this one, for some reason, this Twitter account kept popping up. I just muted it finally, and they're like, Mario movie is now surpassed The Grinch and is the 8th best box office for Illumination. Illumination only has 11 movies, so it's 8 out of 11. So it's third from the bottom. Why are we tweeting? Well, they're trying to get people to click on it because it's the hot thing right now. But now it's 5th and it might even be higher. Then it was 5th a few days later. So it's like, why are we? Don't even say anything until it's top 3. Like once it's like the 3rd best-selling Illumination best box office, then that's something to post about. But it's like people are just trying to ride the coattails because it's so popular now that its own popularity it's almost like the first Avatar movie. The first couple weekends, the word of mouth got so great that it was just like, holy shit, everybody started going to see the movie. And I kind of think Mario could do that. And Grace Randolph, she's reaching for reasons why she didn't know this movie was going to be successful. Well, I'm a non-gamer, and I never see any Mario merchandise at the stores. I never see Mario anywhere outside of gaming. And like, bitch.
Mario merch is like,
I never see it in Target because you're not looking at that stuff. Like you're looking at your women's clothes. Like, just say that you were fucking admit. It's one of those things where an apology and admitting, just saying straight up, hey, I was way off on this one, and be done with it, instead of trying to
she's not gonna
squirm your way into justifying how you were so wrong. And like somebody said, oh, you can't say that she's not allowed to review movies. I'm like, she is when she says things so wrong, but she says them like it's fact. She lets agendas influence her reviews. She said Snake Eyes was one of the best movies of 2021. She said Mulan was one of the best movies of 2021. The live action remake, all the changes they made we're better. We're for the better of the movie. I was like, holy crap, this is sounding great. Every other review I've ever seen since then is like, oh my god, this isn't.
Oh yeah,
This is
yeah,
such
they
an
trashed the shit out of it.
embarrassment and such a. They miss the point of Mulan on every level of the original, and then I realized those two movies both had something in common. They had an Asian star and an Asian director, and then I realized with the Snyderverse stuff, she rides like coattails of bandwagons, if you will, of not political, but like trendy. I wouldn't say trendy. I don't want to make it sound like it's just a trendy thing, but for her, she's like, oh, there's a big talk about having diversity of directors and having diversity of your starring. So any movie that had that, I noticed she was really praising and not saying anything negative about. And I was like, what the hell? And then she was riding the Restore the Snyderverse, and then somebody posted her review of Man of Steel, and she was, same thing with Mario. Oh, Zack Snyder's the wrong guy. This movie is totally wrong for the DC. This is not how Superman should be. Fast forward a few years, and she's like, basically, I wouldn't say sucking him off, but she's got him on her live streams, interviewing him, acting like she's been this big fan. She loves his work and what he's done with the DC. It's like, you're such a fraud.
Oh, she hit them. She hit him with the Mandela effect.
And T's like, well, she just bounced when the Snyder Restore the Snyderverse got too toxic. I'm like, nah, she was a fraud. She was just riding the hype train.
Yeah, and, she's been a fraud. That's not even new. That's not even a
so
revelation.
With Mario, at the time, she will never say it. I guess during her review, she said she liked Chris Pratt or whatever, but
no,
that was not long after Chris Pratt got spotted at a church people don't like, because it's like very conservative church. And then that
motherfuckers are mad, bro. He's a Christian. Oh my
and
God.
Right, I mean, literally 2 seconds into that trailer, the teaser, oh, this isn't gonna do well, and you couldn't help but be like, what'd you base that on? Like, oh, is it because Chris Pratt? Like, what is going on? So now she's like, well, a lot of its success is it's big with the anti-woke crowd who are like against Disney and all this modern agenda stuff. I'm like, I don't know anybody who's going to see the Mario movie because it's not woke agenda. Like, I'm sure some people, but that cannot be why it's been so successful. Like, and she says it like it's fact. Like, I watched her movie math last night. She's saying it like it's fact. Oh, it's just really big with the anti-woke people who are like the conservatives who are trying to, keep things the way they are. I'm like, really?
The kicker is that motherfuckers were mad. I've seen a lot of people on that side angry at the film for all like the Peach stuff, and I'm like, I don't think they liked the film. I think they went to go see it, but I don't think people liked the film.
I heard somebody say that apparently Illumination, it was the critical drinker. The rumor is Illumination was going to have Peach be the main character and have her, this could be complete bullshit, but their idea was to have Peach be the Rey from Star Wars character. They assumed that Nintendo stepped in and said, no, that's Mario's the main character. And I wouldn't be surprised. It's so plausible that it's easy to believe, but it could be complete bullshit too.
Because Illumination, like I said, its biggest issue is that Illumination has a lot of hits and misses. Like, they're never consistently good.
Honestly, I stopped watching. I don't think I've seen a movie since Despicable Me 2 until Mario. I don't think I watched any of their follow-ups after Despicable Me 2. That was so bad.
And you were a better person for it.
I was like, you know what? None of their trailers. I never seen Sing. Never seen Life is Pets. Never seen The Grinch.
Sing's all right.
Life of Pets. That was all right.
Life is fine.
I'm sure it's all right, but
they keep doing this dumb shit where you'll give me one good film and then you'll fuck up a sequel. Or you'll give me some really weird.
Did anybody see the Minions, the 2 Minions movie? That was like absolutely stupid.
I saw one and immediately regretted it.
I mean, fart jokes are funny at certain times, but you're still
fart jokes are funny, but you can't rely on fart jokes. My issue is that they'll rely on it. That's why I was very happy to see that they degrade any of the Mario minions because it was very easy to do so. You could easily fuck them up.
I'm betting in their mind they pitched a Shy Guy minions like scene or a Goomba's minion like scene to Nintendo.
Oh, they definitely. I will say the voice is still the Shy Guy voice is perfect. That shit still good. Because you hear the meow, and then you'll have the one with the darker mask like, we found him in the dark lands. Like, what the fuck? Like, wait a minute. You think he's wearing a plague mask? What the fuck?
I think Kamek is my favorite voice of all of them, and he doesn't say too much, but he puts so much into it.
It's such a weird. I don't know because he sounds old, but he doesn't sound like old. Like it's a weird. He's like King of your Koopas, but it's a very.
He's got that wavering voice.
The fact that he's Bowser's hype man is like the funniest shit to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can talk. I mean, we didn't talk spoilers because of T, but I think everybody's seen the movie. Have you
seen the movie yet?
T hadn't seen it at the time, so we were trying to dance around it.
Has he seen it yet?
I doubt it.
Oh, come on, bro. What the fuck?
So, again, I was sick. I was zoning out. I feel like the thing you guys were trying to say was so cool was the blue shell moment.
It's such a good moment.
And I remember face palming when he's like, in my mind, correct me if I like I said, I wasn't feeling well. Maybe this is my imagination. I feel like he here comes the blue shell or something, like shouts out blue shell right before he does it instead of just letting us see it.
He does,
but it's kind of like, all right, you want to play like a Scarface.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that and because you don't think of him as the blue shell turtle during the whole sequence.
Well, I saw immediately. I saw you blue shell.
I didn't notice it.
Spike
so
helmet.
in the beginning, you're just seeing this motherfucker and this monster of a vehicle crushing and destroying shit. I'm like, this is a really cool set piece. It's really cool. Like the action sequence itself is just cool. And like, we fucked up. We finally blew up your goddamn car. What now, bitch? Here comes the blue shell. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, no.
I definitely have to when I watch it again.
Because if you watch it, you can actually see.
I could tell it was the blue shell right away.
Just like slightly in front of Peach, before the blue shell comes around him, before they slow down. And they're like level. So, because, obviously the blue shell goes to the leader. But, yeah, they're slightly in front. And I'm like, yes, you nailed it right on. Nailed it.
You know what I used to do? Yeah. I used to slow down. We were playing online, so he hit me with the blue shell.
You could hear it?
I'd slow down until let the person catch up to me so they got hit too. Because it will go, even if you get past, you still, I think it still hits you.
Have you ever tried to dodge boost?
I've done it, but that was my tactic. I'd look behind me, I'd slow down so that the second place, you're like, some people would try to speed up, go as fast as they can, get as far as they can until it hits them. I slow down and take out the second place person with me was my tactic. But again, like I said, I was kind of like, I saw it was the blue shell, right? Like the way it was behaving. I'm like, oh, this is the blue shell. So when he yelled out the blue shell, I kind of felt like it was redundant to me. But again, I might not feel that way seeing it on the second repeated viewings.
I think what hurt you was the fact that you noticed it. See, I didn't notice
the way it was moving. I was like, oh, that's blue shell, and then he had the blue spiky helmet.
I didn't notice. I didn't think they were gonna reference that.
So it would have been cool if he just shot it and not said it. But that again.
Well, because you think the final boss is the big ass truck. No, that was protecting you from the true final boss, which was me. That was that's the hardest shit to me. You in this monster of a vehicle causing all this destruction and chaos. You fucking crush Mario's OG car, and he finally gets you with the fucking barrel with DK's barrel. I'm like, yeah, we fucking do. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you thought that was it? You thought I was finished? You ain't got shit on me. And then you like
blue shell.
Yeah, it's just the escalation and not being prepared for what. Even when I watched it the second time, I'm like, let's go. I'm just like, and he's gone. It's so good.
So it's definitely the highest video game adaptation already, which it
is.
I predicted it would.
It needs to be.
It would triple
Mario.
Sonic's the best. Whatever the two Sonic movies was the best, and it probably will. And I want to say Detective Pikachu was number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
I want to say it was like 500 million or 400 or something. It wasn't that high.
No, I went crazy, but it was good. It was
Personally,
definitely
like I said, I would have liked to have the success and to have the unanimous critic acclaim. Now I know some people are like, oh, the critics don't mean shit. There's something to it. As much as you might love the movie, I love Batman versus Superman. It has like a 30 or 20 something percent on Rotten Tomatoes. So obviously, not every movie I like has a good Rotten Tomato. Not every movie I don't like. Some movies I hate have really good Rotten Tomato scores, like The Northman is really high, and I thought that movie was garbage. I did not like it at all. But for me as a fan, I wanted everything. I wanted the box office success. I wanted to love it, and I wanted it to be like this unanimously well praised movie. Like, hey, this is how you bring a video game to the big screen. Now, money wise, you could say, hey, this is how you bring, but at the same time, I don't want the lesson from this to be that fast pacing and less shorter movie and stuff is the key to success. I don't want that to be the takeaway from this. So that's the only thing I'm a little worried about.
Mm-hmm.
I would like them to like take it even more serious. Hey, these can make money. Let's take them a little more serious and let's get it right. It does everything right in the aspects of getting the game into the movie. I think I didn't give enough positives. To me, that's a huge positive. Like getting the aspects of the game into the movie so seamlessly is its biggest strength.
Yeah, I think kind of when you were talking about the fast pacing. So the second time I watched the whole Funky Kong moment, I'm really under the impression that either, like you said, there's a lot of cut film on there on that part, or maybe, and this is probably being me being optimistic, but maybe they're saving more of that scenery for like when the Donkey Kong, like if they ever do a Donkey Kong thing, they're gonna show off more of the city.
Yeah,
Or
I mean that makes sense. At the same time, though, I don't
You
understand the
could.
music choice was what takes that scene
yeah,
away. Like I wouldn't say ruins it, but to me it killed my
I
oh,
don't.
they're in Funky Kong's driving. This is awesome, and then all of a sudden Take on Me starts. I'm like,
yeah.
why are we having a
I
music montage?
I don't hate it. Like a lot of other people I noticed do, but like
It just doesn't fit. Like
yeah, I think
said
it
this
bothers me more. I think it bothered me once I heard the better track, and I went, "Fuck you." That's
Is it? I
it's
haven't
not.
heard it
It's
yet.
not
Is
even.
it Funky's Kong?
No, it's
it's
like
a mix of Donkey Kong Country.
it's literally like a DK melody, dude. Like
Okay.
you there are certain cues you're like, fuck, that's so
According to
good.
the composer on the tweet, that was for that scene. That song was made for
Yeah,
that scene. So
that my issue isn't even the fact that it's licensed music. My issue is that you picked the better song was already in your fucking hands. It's literally like being like, do you want $400 or $200? Well, you got both. What are you doing? I'm gonna take the $200. Bitch, what are you talking about? It's right there. You ain't even gotta like.
they
That's
probably
what irks me. The
that was
better song is
probably
right there, dude.
either a test screening thing or somebody watched it and said, "Oh, if people who don't, we got to give people who don't know the significance of this something to latch onto this scene." It didn't even feel like it needed a musical moment. Just have them talk. Like I didn't even like. Again, I don't want to.
The I Need a Hero was perfect for that moment. Like that went with that because you got the montage with it.
Yeah, but people
Yeah.
pointed out that like 5 animated movies in the last few years use that song in
Yeah.
montages.
I haven't watched
So
that
it's like,
many enough to
in
really
that
be a
regard,
big
yeah,
issue.
that was unneeded. No Sleep
I
Till
think that
Brooklyn. I could have lived without that. I'm not a big Beastie Boys fan.
damn man.
But anyway, that was just to me like that was the thing. And then afterwards I found out, I saw that tweet about from the composer. He was bummed, and somebody was tagging him about them pulling whether it was true or not, saying that the last minute they
That's why
swapped it out.
I hope the extended edition gives him his.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I have zero faith that there's gonna be an extended edition. I put money down. There's not gonna be an extended edition. I'm telling you right now.
You know how much that
You'll get deleted scenes. If there's some, you'll probably get a pretend bloopers or something if they go that route. Maybe they won't because they didn't for.
Well, then let me. Then fine. If we're not getting an extended edition, I'm gonna stay on the Mario topic, but I want to ask: do you think they're gonna immediately go? The next film we're gonna get you think it's gonna just be Mario 2, or you think they're gonna try to do another Nintendo property first?
They're probably going to
with the whole
start the
Yoshi
Mario
deal?
2 right away, but who knows what will come out first. I do want to. Jay Biggs asked a question. I guess, yeah, in some of the cartoons, Peach saved Mario and Luigi. There was a game, but that doesn't. I don't think anybody's that worried about Peach in this movie being taking care of herself. But I don't think I don't think you have to go back to some obscure cartoon or any kind of lore to justify it. There's no reason for her not to be. That she doesn't need to be some weak. She's she's running. She's basically a queen. She's a princess, but she's been running it, so she should be a strong character, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't, like I said last week, I didn't think she needed to actually have done that course the first try. She could have just did it the third or fourth try and still had that same joke.
I guess my issue is that Mario is definitely gonna be one of those things that is gonna be like multiple films. And considering the Mario universe is huge and there's a bunch of shit and characters you can use, it irks me that she's like, I don't know. I like the fact that like the way she was characterized in some of the games and even in Smash, where she's very dignified, but she doesn't really take shit. It's weird. She's not nonchalant, but it's like this nice airheadedness that kind of floats with her character. Yeah. Having her be like this overt badass all the time is kind of, I'm not gonna say annoying.
Takes away from her character of who she is.
Yeah,
I felt like she was a dignified, been through some shit leader kind of. That's the vibe I got from watching the movie.
I don't want to say she's been through some shit. My issue is that she's very much playing up like her more.
It's not like, oh my god, this is our first time facing any adversity. I don't know what to do. Like I felt like she had handled things before.
I don't know. I feel like if you had her start off kind of like her traditional self and then maybe grow into this character, it would have worked better you would have felt a sense of progression.
I would say it might have made more sense to have her be way more worried, and that's why she would put her faith in Mario so quickly. It's like, oh, what are we gonna do? I don't know. And then we can use this guy. He can either be the scapegoat, or he could be the guy who can help us.
That scene right when she walks out, like she's like, "It's okay, we're about to go talk to the Kongs," and like as soon as she walked out, she like had a freak out moment. I can definitely vibe with that.
Yeah, like
and then she sees Mario and she's like, "Yeah, that's the one."
Yeah, like I think to me it's not even about the girl ball shit. It's more so about just making her seem human, because the way she is in the film, she has like no inherent flaw. Like there's nothing I can see. I can't see her growing in another film, because if anything, she's just going to be the exact same way she is in this film. Whereas you could say maybe Luigi becomes less cowardly. His progression through the second film is him becoming less cowardly. Or Mario realizing his stubbornness, not giving up, can also be viewed as a bad thing. Like, there are things that can lead into character arcs for them. The only thing Peach really has is the little tidbit that she may not be from the Mushroom Kingdom, which I'm kind of like, it's not a bad thing, but it's also nothing that makes her interesting. You're just giving me an origin for Peach, and I'm kind of like, it's Peach. Like, you got to make me give a shit. And there's nothing really about her.
I feel you. Right, the Ray situation.
Pretty much. I'm perfect.
I didn't feel that.
I'm just good at every fucking thing. But I don't need rescuing here. I'm the Ice Peach now. Yeah. Fuck it. I'm freezing. Like she was
never really in real trouble like throughout the whole movie. There was no Mario save me type of deal. It was just like, I got it.
And I think that's just probably more to do with the time trying to get the movie in 90 minutes than it would be any other reason. Yeah. We just got to get to the end. That's how I felt watching it. But anyway, the movie's gonna do $1 billion, no question about it now. It's just how many. We'll do 1.4, 1.5, 2. Like, where's the limit for this thing? So,
I got a question. In parts of this movie, were there some parts where you were like, man, this like more beautiful than usual. Like you, like you're looking and you're like, wait a minute, like why does it look this way? Like there was certain times where I was like, this looks a little different than the direction that they just went with like 5 seconds ago. So like the dry bone scene, um, like them coming out of the ground and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah,
Eh,
there's some stylistic choices going on.
yeah, like a couple times, even with the like during the Luigi and the Bowser conversation, I felt like it changed up a little bit. Um, I
It's
want
weird
to say
because,
here the
like I said, I was watching someone review it and they're just putting B footage from all the TV spots and trailers, and I was like, man, I don't remember that looking that good. Because, like I said, I was like zoned out, like sore throat, sick, ears getting blown out. So I was like, dang, I don't remember it looking that good. So I can't wait to like see it proper. But anyway, we better talk about the tears,
you know what it is.
the tears of
Bro,
Aloy, because
bro,
that no one
You
gives
know
two
what it
shits
is?
about that Horizon
bro,
DLC that just got.
what's going? Why does this keep happening to Horizon, dog? It's been consistent between 2 games and fucking DLC.
And it was
announcements.
Zelda twice and Elden Ring once, and it's been.
Yeah, it's like why we keep. I'm like, why y'all keep?
They
fucking with
posted
this
a
game?
launch trailer for the DLC, and it's like they show nothing. I have 87 hours. I love Forbidden West. Nothing from that launch trailer made me want to get the DLC. They showed me nothing. They showed a new character. They showed some cinematics. They showed flying around, which I like doing. And I'm like, you're gonna follow. Like it's not their fault, but the Tears of the Kingdom trailer just came out with this epic music, and you got this really casual, nonchalant. Yeah, it's DLC. It's not a new game. They haven't been working on it for 6 years. It's not even been. It's been a year, and it might be all right, but oh my god, does no one care? Like,
No.
and it's PS5 only, so that limits the people that are gonna do the DLC anyway.
Well, and then the kicker was that you also had the Final Fantasy thing come out later
Final
that
Fantasy,
day.
what? I don't even know. I didn't
Yeah,
even
on the
know that
same
came out.
day, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, it already was gonna get to me. It was
Oh,
gonna lose the
man.
Final
Let's
Fantasy
check
no matter what.
check the view totals now because
I don't even want to look at dog. It was so ridiculous.
Final Fantasy had
I looked
what
at it.
40,000 and Zelda was like
No, it had
5.4
like-
million
it
or
had
400.
It had like around 500,000.
Yeah, and
last
Mario was
time I
at
looked.
5.6 million.
Oh, let me look. Let me look.
It's hard. I mean, it was a longer gameplay thing versus a trailer.
That's not. I don't think that's an excuse.
Oh, the
fuck?
state of play Final Fantasy.
It's at 1.1 million
yeah,
now.
1.1.
So let's look at Zelda.
I'm gonna guess
Where
that's
is
at
it?
6.5. Maybe.
Oh, let me see.
Maybe
The
7.
Tears of the Kingdom. It's shit. It scared me.
Tears of the-
The first thing,
Oh, God.
the first thing that came up scared me because it wasn't what I was thinking it was. It freaked me out. Hold on. Is
Oh gosh,
I need the fucking English one.
it
It's
is.
giving me like
Plus,
it's
it's
giving me
split
so
between
many different-
Nintendo UK and Nintendo of America, which I don't think.
It did it 7 times over. I can tell you that much.
It's at is it 7.7?
Dang.
No, 7.4 million. I'm sorry.
And you know how I can tell that it's hit a completely different level? I watched at least 30 reactions to it. At least 30, maybe 40. People I never heard of just popped up in my feed. I searched Tears of the Kingdom reactions. Of course, the ones I was looking for, I watched Miss Click. She doesn't do a lot of reactions. I'm not like, I never subscribed to her, but I always find her Zelda reactions interesting. All the usual suspects you would expect to do a reaction. Plus, all these just random people. And you know it's popular when you're seeing, you could tell it was just a live stream, and somebody asked them to watch it. It starts with no introduction, this is what I'm looking for. It just starts the trailer, and the trailer ends, and the reaction ends. They cut their Twitch live stream, and they had nothing to say before, and they had nothing to say afterwards. And you don't know that when you go in, when you click on a video, you go by the thumbnail.
Right.
And you got people, oh, I never beat the first game, or I never got out the Great Plateau, but this looks incredible. And it's like, that's how you know it hit a different level, when all these reaction channels and Twitch streamers are clipping it because they know it's the hot thing. And it is disappointing when I click on one of those videos and find out it's not like a Zelda fan or anything, but I did find
You
some
mean like
really good
you mean
ones in
like
there.
most of them? You mean like
A lot
most
of
of
them.
them?
I found a guy that's like he's a I don't he doesn't look like he's actually makes scores, but he does reactions mostly focused on music. He heard the Ganondorf theme well before they even hint. It's like before the anything on screen showed that they were going to show Ganondorf. They mixed in the Ganondorf. He's positive like they mixed in the Ganondorf theme right here. So this dude knew what the hell he was talking about. You could tell he was big into music and themes, and he was a fan. And it was just such a great reaction to hear it from a more musical perspective because that music, man. I thought the God of War Ragnarok final trailer music was great. This was way better. And some of that's my nostalgia for the main theme. To me, that's still one of the best like pieces of music. Just the main theme.
Yeah.
And so I mean I saw all these different reactions, and some were like some pissed me off, and some were just like amazing to watch. Like was it Rogers Bass or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard his name. I never watched him before. His reaction was like the best. Like that dude was just in bliss, like joyful bliss and
Oh,
genuine.
Rogers Base has been a Nintendo fan for a hot like a while.
That was
now.
a good like genuine reaction.
Did you watch Kit and Krista's reaction to the Zelda trailer?
I don't think so. Wait, I did. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they're not very good at reactions. I gotta say, I don't. Care.
Well, it's also people were roasting them recently because they I think they put up a GoFundMe
to go to Japan.
Yeah, and people were like, "Bro, you've already been shut
many
the fuck
times."
up." Yeah, like no one wants to like listen. I understand what you're doing, but no, like, we're not gonna humor that.
So anyway, let's get into the Tears of the Kingdom. So let's everybody set up your thoughts beforehand. I've been saying it was not received well. It was a September direct, and that's when they announced the name. That same day, God of War Ragnarok, in my opinion, the second best video game trailer of all time at the time, with the music. That's just a great video game trailer. Came out, and I'm like, I know Nintendo's gonna do something closer to launch, but to have the same day have this very, in my opinion, an anticlimactic name reveal for a Zelda trailer that didn't have like really that musical score to it. It was just kind of, it just felt like someone threw it together with that same day, you know. And so my expectations at September was they're gonna have their epic trailer closer to release. They're gonna have a direct or something. They're gonna have this epic trailer. So I kind of expected this. And some people saw it as a negative, saying there needs to be an epic trailer this time. Oh, I don't need anything else. You know, I wanted this epic trailer, and we got it. And look at the reaction to it; it was amazing. Right. So my expectations going in was this is what I expected, and they did exactly what I was expecting. And obviously, they copied the format of the Breath of the Wild 2017 showcase, the Switch showcase. They copied the format to a T, even like the musical hits. To the pause, like they did, like the transition in about halfway, about a minute in, you know, they followed the exact formula. So it's kind of a, you know, to be objective, it's kind of a cheat, but the end result is an equally as amazing
but it
trailer.
Works.
You know, they'll probably do it with the next Zelda game. So that was my thoughts going in. This is what I expected, and it's what it was. I wasn't surprised. I was pleasantly surprised by a lot of the extra story stuff we got. That now I'm so much more excited about the story that I'm actually going to start watching some lore videos and people's predictions before this trailer because I want to know more about the possibilities of these characters. So that was me going in. What was your guys' going in thoughts?
I'll let Samson go first. No, I'll let you go first, man.
Okay. So going into this, I don't know if you watched Saturday's podcast.
You and Terrell were streaming. I was watching movies. So
okay, so I had Vito, you know, my co-host on, and then we had a guest on as well. And originally it was going to be a whole like Q&A type of deal. Like we were gonna watch the latest trailer and all that other stuff, and then they were gonna ask questions to me about, you know, persuading them into buying this. What really ended up happening is we ended up having to persuade my co-host into buying this. So he watched the original trailer for Breath of the Wild, and then he asked questions, and then he watched the trailer for Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know what I thought was going to happen in this last trailer. I thought we were I have no clue. I thought we were going to get a whole lot of like gameplay parts, but like very little story, but like some more story parts, but not see like we were still going to get maybe like the back of the villain, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You might get a finger or
Yeah, you weren't
something
gonna
like
get a full
that.
face reveal.
Yeah. Um, and so like I'm like, what? No, what? What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like it I didn't expect as much as we got from it. And then by the end I'm like, wow. My co-host was like, sound looks pretty interesting.
Somebody who doesn't play Zelda games, obviously.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's a whole different like he's yes, yeah. It was
I know
it
a guy. He has nothing against. He's not anti Nintendo or Switch. He's just not a console gamer, PC gamer.
mhm.
Right.
So he would watch that trailer and get probably nothing out, literally nothing out of it. Like I don't even think it would hit him on any level. That's how out of it he is. No malice. I mean, pun intended. No malice. He's not like against Nintendo, but he's not like, oh, I'm gonna play some animated kitty game. It's nothing like that. He just
Yeah.
he's just not. He's been playing World of Warcraft for what 10, 15, however long it's been coming out.
Mm,
He still raids like twice a week. Like the dude is just all in with this still to this day and just doesn't care about that stuff. But the people who are like, "Oh, that's Nintendo. That's Nintendo. I don't fuck with Nintendo. That's kitty stuff or, I just can't I can't relate. I find myself not wanting to even talk to people
mhm.
like that like listening to this uh this girl that I loved her. I love when she was streaming like Elden Ring and stuff, and she's a Twitch streamer. And I went back and watched her old Zelda, Breath of the Wild stuff. One of her subscribers bought her a Switch and the game, so he spent almost $400. And she got to the Master Sword. She did like few episodes and just quit. She complained the whole time about the buttons being in the wrong spot, not like Xbox. She went like straight story, story, story. No exploration.
Mm.
She's so I've seen she's playing it again. First thing she does, can I remap these buttons? Why do I gotta she keeps hitting B and A wrong. And I was like, all right, I get it. I do that every once in a while too, but get used to it. It tells you right on the
Yeah.
freaking screen.
Yeah.
The B button's the bottom button. It's not like it's just saying the letter B. And just hearing just the lack of respect, the lack of interest, you could tell she's just playing it because it's Tears of the Kingdom trailer was so popular.
Mhm.
And she opened the map. She already was at the Divine Beast in Zora's. She has 5 hearts, and you look at her map. She had the 4 shrines in the plateau, and she had like a row of like 4 shrines direct path to Kakariko Village, and then like a couple shrines getting up to Zora's. She had just enough to have 2 heart pieces, so she had 5 hearts. Nothing else. I'm like, she's not going anywhere. She's not exploring. She's missing out on what the main joy of the game is. Anyway,
Oh, funny you say that, because that is exactly my co-host. Like as we're talking about it, me and the other guy, we're like, man, you can if you see it, you can virtually go there. You can do this, you could do that. There's so much you can do. It's free will, blah blah blah. And like at the very end of that trailer, he was just like, so. Like, we even showed him the gameplay, and he was just like, so for somebody who's not like as deep into the open world, like how would you compare this story? Like, and I'm like as I'm thinking about, it, I'm like, if you're only playing for the story, then you're missing out on virtually the whole game. Like,
Yeah.
that's the adventure, is the game, like itself, going places and doing
just
stuff.
watch Age of Calamity cutscenes if you want story. Like that had some really cool
Yeah.
cinematics.
I
I
would
guess
agree.
there are people who either don't have time, they have no patience, and they do play games more for story. Then yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and tell you, oh my god, you're an idiot if you don't play Breath of the Wild. If that's not your cup of tea, there's people who don't like open world games. I didn't really care for open world games before because the formula was so dry. It was the Grand Theft Auto. You get a map, you get icon, you go to the icon, a mission start, or it starts a mission. You go to this icon, this guy has a mission. Like
And to be
Assassin's
fair,
Creed.
that's still majority true. We just have more exceptions now.
That's why I mean Elden Ring doesn't have that at all. You have to like pay attention to even understand that those things are pointing you towards a main objective. Like the grace sites on the map. So I'm not gonna be mad at somebody who just that's not their cup of tea. Whether, like I said, whether they have the time or not. For me, like if you're like this one girl was like reacting to it, she's like, "Oh, I never beat Breath of the Wild," and I wanted to type a comment. If you're worried about beating the game. She didn't even know there was villages because she saw the trailer. Oh, there's a cute village in this game. Obviously, she didn't get to Hiteno Village or Kakariko Village. She didn't play it enough, or she didn't remember. And I just want to say, don't even worry about it in terms of beating it. The Breath of the Wild is about the experience of playing the game and exploring the world. And the best thing about it, and Terrell was here on the podcast every week. We'd all just share stories of what we encountered. We all were going in different directions. I went to my first was Va Meadow. That was my first Divine Beast. I went to the Rito. I didn't even go to the Zoras at that point. I didn't even go that direction. So I had the freaking Rivali's Gale for all the other Divine Beasts, which made it a little bit easier at times. I was so engrossed in everything I was doing, from the cooking to taming a horse. The quest, watching Gab Smulders do the quest. There's some really good freaking quests. The Tari Town, I was telling Terrell, you really missed out. You didn't do that quest. I mean, especially
building the city,
especially the end. Like that's such a thing that is such a payoff. That is so good. The shrines, rewatching somebody try to solve the problems. The electric shrines where you have to connect, get things like the puzzles. Are so clever, and not all of them are as good at, some are better than others, but watching somebody go through that again, I'm like,
well, the fact that you can think outside the box for a lot of
them.
them.
And it's like, it's funny watching gamers who are used to video games, like that one I was just telling, Alice is her name, Aliska's her Twitch channel, she's the one not really enjoying it. She goes, I'm going to try to enjoy it more this time. I hated all the, having to solve puzzles all the time, like, and,
what?
And I'm like,
that's
I'm sorry.
It's
hard for me to hear that and not think less of somebody. I'm sorry. It's just this is the way I am. But
I think you're dog shit.
And it's like, you're missing out. You're missing out. If like I told Robert about Immortals, Phoenix Rising. There's some freaking puzzles in the vaults. They're like the shrines, especially the first DLC. They're so freaking good. That shit needs to be mandatory. Like, how can you make this optional? It's such a good puzzle, and it's a completely optional vault. And there's I mean, I wouldn't say there's hundreds that are that good. There's at least 20 that were just like, oh my god, this is so good. Like, how'd they come up with this? This is so clever. There's a one where you use a run, and you have to like it's almost like a 3D Mario level where you have to get to the end within a time limit using the mechanics of the game that the game gives you. And it's so much freaking fun that I was like, I could just do this. This could be the game. I would just do these over and over. But, Robert wasn't sucked into the game, and he wanted to get to the credits. And I feel like he missed out a lot of cool content, but it was completely optional. Same with the shrines in Breath of the Wild. There's so much cool stuff. But anyway, let's get to the trailer, Tears of the Kingdom.
I didn't get to give my thoughts.
What was your thoughts going in? What were your expectations? What were you prepared for?
Juice had a whole thing.
I know we got completely sidetracked. Breath of the Wild has that effect.
Yeah, here's your feature presentation up here. The Juice Man got you. So I hate it because I was at work when it came. When I was like, fuck. And my mom was like, okay, if I overthink this, it's going to piss me off. So you know what? I'm going to cut everything off. And so I kind of zoned out leading into it. I said, I'm not going to think about anything regarding this game. So when I watch it, the the fucking that music comes in the beginning. I'm like, what the fuck? And so which pisses me off because I'm like walking around and shit. I actually rewatched it like 4 times.
Does that music give you chills, or is it just because the Zelda theme's such a big part of my life?
It doesn't give me chills, but
Okay.
it shook me. Like I was generally shook.
When he's falling in the logo and then it hits the main Zelda theme, instant goosebumps and chills every time.
To me, if you didn't grow with it, it won't do exactly.
That's what I figured.
But it's still
good music. It's still amazing.
Oh, absolutely, it's still great music. But going into it, I was very like, I'm just not gonna worry about it, which I think enhanced the experience because man, I think by the end of it, I was in like a low key cold sweat. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I shouldn't be hold on, let me rewatch this real quick. Let me make sure I'm not bullshit. And so I rewatched it the second time, and I think by the third time I was shaking. I was like, there's no reason this game got me like this, dog. And then I went down the rabbit hole, starting to look up reactions. I'm like, fuck, the damn thing just came out. There's nobody who's made a reaction on the video.
Yeah, at first there was a little dry.
And so I'm sitting there just like speed looking for fucking reactions. And it's like, oh, fuck, I gotta finish my work. God damn it. So I walked away and did my job, came back home and was like, all right, let's get into it again. So I started going right through it. It was a lot. That whole experience was a lot. I very much appreciate not worrying about it because it very much made the hit like, oh, like you feel that shit in your chest. You're like, oh god damn. That first him falling in the music, that was like a boom. It's like being in a fucking theater to me. But that was me though.
It's not like this. I didn't need to be won over. I just wanted this to be the trailer that shut everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't expect him to go this far story stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect Ganon face reveal, like, Ganondorf, I should say. I didn't suspect a possible demise reveal. Like, they went in.
That was pretty serious.
And like I said, I'm not one of these guys, like, super big into Zelda lore. I don't know what the Zonai are. I've never heard of them until T mentioned them, like, a month ago. Because he watched a lot of the predictions and videos based on the footage. I didn't watch anything other than the official trailers, and I still don't know who the Zonai are. Are they from previous games or were they Breath of the Wild only? I don't know. That's how.
Yeah, see, I don't.
That's how much I don't pay attention to lore. I don't know why. It's never been a thing that I get super sucked into. This trailer makes me want to look into the lore more, and I hope that this isn't like. These are just like very short cinematics from the whole game. Like you're seeing like that trailer showed like a good chunk of the cinematics from the game. Like I hope there's just so much more because Nintendo Age of Calamity the cinematics were so good, and even Anuma said that. Like, wow, he was impressed by the cinematics and wanted to implement more. So I want this to be the everything Breath of the Wild was plus
more.
Like they didn't barely even focused on the fuse mechanic. They showed the shield with the sword with the shield. There was really and obviously the little square block robot machine.
Hey, but you got to see the squirrel suit.
That was not a focus. Like I thought that was going to kind of be the focus of the trailer, even though they showed it in the gameplay. I didn't know they were going to go all in with the story stuff. So now, if this game doesn't have it, now I'm hoping, based on this trailer, I'm hoping it has all the amazing exploration and adventure of Breath of the Wild, plus the new mechanics, and we're going to have this amazing story and these amazing cinematics throughout. That, to me, instantly makes it a better game than Breath of the Wild. If they get all that and has this amazing scope and scale story, which the trailer kind of suggests it's going to have. My one negative, I don't say one, but my biggest gripe, I guess, from the original Breath of the Wild trailer was that music was so good, but they didn't use it in the game. And I'm kind of worried of the same thing's going to happen, that you're not actually going to hear some of that awesome music in the actual Tears of the Kingdom game while you're playing the game, like at any point. So like that reverse music, now that shit, that
I
that
think
is
you'll
so
hear that.
cool. The way they put it in the trailer, like towards the first minute mark,
Mm-hmm.
and right before the that sand, that thing's coming out of the sand desert.
Mm-hmm.
Terrell, you did it with, you mimicked it.
Yeah.
That's such a freaking cool little mix into
I
that.
think you'll. I think that specifically. I think you'll get. I don't know about the music that they had like at the beginning or anything like that, but I feel like that sound, the whatever they do for
The
that.
reverse stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think that's probably gonna be something that's like synonymous with whoever
Yeah. When
those
people
people are.
are when certain, I don't know if they're good or bad, but um I don't
Yeah,
remember
kind of
saying
like.
the final trailer needed me to get me excited about the game, but I just wanted to be, I wanted that same level of excitement Breath of the Wild that final trailer had. I was just looking for Nintendo to do that, not just for
Yeah.
just not for my sake. I wasn't worried about the game. Um,
This trailer. I'm
but
watching it now and I already
yeah.
got goosebumps.
So I watched it on my phone. I downloaded it. I have YouTube Premium, so I downloaded it so I could watch it at 1080 on my phone.
Hmm.
Right.
And even Breath of the Wild trailer, it looks super crisp on my phone. And then I watched like 20 reactions on my phone. Then I got home and I was still watching it on my phone. I was like, I don't know if it was that night or the next night. I was out down in the theater room and I was like, you know what, let me watch the Zelda trailer. And it's not in scope, so I had to kind of, the tops and bottom were cut off a little bit. And YouTube is random. One thing will be super loud, and another thing it will be super quiet. This was super quiet, so I had to turn it
Hmm.
like double my normal volume. And the opening shot in the sky is like, holy shit! Even on this big screen, this looks really good. And then that music hit, and I was like, holy crap! It's only 2 channel, I think, on YouTube, but I have a Atmos mixer. I forget what it's kind of called that, but um, so it got to the point where Link draws the ruby infused arrow,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and my height and back speakers were, because it automatically separates. There's a lot of reverse music at that moment, but when you hear it all blended together in 2 channel, you didn't hear it. But how my receiver tries to spread it tries to pick where what it thinks would be surround speaker sounds, and you hear
Hmm.
that blended in. It's really subtle, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's mixed in here? Like that sounds so cool." And it's just quite the experience. Now, there are some shots where Link's in the underground area that I noticed it's not going to look that great on a big screen like that because there's a lot of low res and anti-aliasing shimmering and stuff in the background, which I didn't notice on my phone. But I was like, dang, I might play this entire game down here. I still might. I might. I was gonna hook my Switch up yesterday, then I didn't. Um, but I'm still stunned. Like I'm not watching it right now. I think I've seen it with all the reactions and stuff. I've seen it like 40 times now. But the people are saying that might be the goddess Hylia. I think it's either another version of Zelda or like an origin for Sheik or so. I think it's something because she's wearing the exact outfit as Zelda, and then I think there's 2 Links. The one who's skydiving
Hmm.
like so naturally, he's got the scarred arm and he's got a weird different hairstyle and an outfit, and then you have the Link with the hoodie with the blue shirt
Yeah.
over it. That to me, they've shown him a lot, but they showed the other more wild looking Link almost as if they're 2 separate people. And I didn't try to. I'm not trying to theorize. I didn't want. I'm not one of those channels. I'm not trying to like sit here and think too hardly on it.
Hmm.
But it did make me. It did make me ponder a few things, like that tall, skinny dude who puts his shoulder on Zelda. That's the dude. He has the same kind of glove, so he's the one I'm guessing Link, who was the race of being that was holding Ganondorf down, the spirit arm.
Yeah.
And but I'm like, could that be a Ganondorf in a different timeline pretending to be a good guy? Like I'm thinking like I never think like that, and I'm thinking that. watching this
Got you
trailer.
going wild, huh?
But the music, almost every reaction's like, oh, I got goosebumps, or this music is incredible. Like almost everybody was saying that it is absolutely incredible. I wonder how the trailer plays if you don't have the music on and just watch the video, how it hits. Because
It doesn't hit the same because I just tried to do it the first time around. And I'm like, no. At least play it little.
See, I will say though, if the name reveal came with that trailer, that would have been in the date reveal.
Mhm.
That would have been like the cherry on top wow moment. Like if they had played that,
Perfection.
you know, but they didn't want to show. I don't think they wanted to show that stuff that early, and I don't think they wanted to wait to announce the name or the date.
I was gonna say, you know how mad you would be if like just now you got the name. What is it, like 3 weeks before the game comes out? You're like,
And I love how Ayers thinks he knows. Like sometimes the dude acts like he's an insider. It's like, you don't know, dude. All you know is what some theory channel told you. Like, get out of here. But yeah, it's such a good trailer. Now to say it's better than Breath of the Wild, it's 2017 trailer. The reason that's not fair is because Breath of the Wild had to show us, basically prove to us the name and the world they had created. It was all about seeing this world, like, oh my god, look at how huge Hyrule is, like, holy crap. This didn't have to do that. It focused more on story. So for a completely different reason, I think this succeeded. Like the first one was all about, oh my god, look at this world, look at all this cool stuff you can do, and this one was all about the story. Oh, Ayers, you looked at art. I don't understand people who look up fucking leaks and shit. Like I'll never understand that stuff.
Some people just want to have the experience as quick as possible.
Some people are weak, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like
no shit.
Terrell's probably looked at that shit too, but you're not the biggest diehard Zelda fan. I understand.
Not for Zelda.
Like I'd look up
Zelda,
Pokemon leak. What do I care? You know, like.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, Zelda, it wouldn't bother me as much, but like Pokemon, it would hurt me to be like, oh, did you know in the 5th gym they killed it? Like I'd be like, what the fuck? Like there are certain things. And Pokemon's worse because Pokemon, I don't want to get spoiled on any of the new designs for creatures. And almost every Pokemon game since like 2013, I think since 2010 has leaked online early. So I'm like, fuck, I can't be on the internet for at least a good few weeks until the game comes out. You ain't about to ruin this for me.
Yeah, how you feel about the starters?
Dog, people need to chill the fuck out. They do
Final
this
Evolution
all
right
the
here.
time. They do this all the fucking time.
So
I will say for Scarlet Violet, I did cave for the start.
No, we're not talking about Pokemon. We're not talking about Pokemon.
I wanted to talk about it. Give me a second.
Who pre-ordered the game after the trailer? Raise your hand.
I already had it pre-ordered.
Yeah.
And seeing
which
that
is weird because I would have pre-ordered it a long time ago, but
I wanted to send the message, hey, put out an amazing trailer. I'm gonna pre-order, you know.
Yeah.
It really hurt seeing that final price after tax, 74 or something. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
You still bought it though.
6% in Michigan. 6%.
Somebody said something about the Pro. I was planning on getting a Pro controller.
Oh yeah, you did.
I kind of want to buy that damn Chinese no drift. What's it called? Gully kit, something like that. Let's look. It's the same price as the Switch Pro controller. Oh yeah, look at this.
Oh my god.
Look at that. That's official.
Yeah. That's hard.
Oh,
That's hard as fuck.
Like, come on.
Wait, is that a samurai? Is my man?
He looks like a samurai,
right
dude.
Now?
It's incredible.
If he does the quick draw blade, when he gets up and he's like,
he gets that stance on you.
Yeah, I can't. The camera's not low enough, but if I get my knee, it'd be like.
He puts that stance on you. Run away.
Yeah. That'd be hard to have him be like a classic hand-to-hand fight.
Yeah.
Because he's been a monster in a lot of games. So I'm like, bro,
My man is straight Ronin right now. He got the robe on one side, whole body showing on the other. Oh my
One
god!
idea that I thought was kind of hard is if this man would just casually roam the area, and you couldn't beat him at the time, but he'll just destroy an entire area.
He's just
fucking
walking
with you.
around.
Yeah,
He's
that's
just-
sweet. He's seeking
because-
you out, but not really. Like he
Yeah,
don't-
yeah.
Crockett
he's
has
like-
some good
it's-
ideas, I gotta say. I was so glad to see him make a video, and he had some really
Yeah.
cool ideas
Go subscribe to the
like
fucking
that. He
channel.
might Samstorm will like this, but he thinks that maybe Link and Zelda will have to team up with Ganondorf against Demise.
Ah. See?
Would you geek out if that happened? Like you get like.
But I don't think
I-
if you got that
I
right,
don't
I
know.
think it was for the wrong reason. I don't think she's
That's
saying
bad,
lend
though.
him your power. That lend him in power isn't Ganon. So
because that's
this is the
basically-
controller I'm thinking of getting over the over the official. So it's Xbox One shell. It has the Hall effects joysticks using magnets, so no wearing, no
Okay.
drifting. It has gyro and a really good rumble. It's not officially HD rumble. It's a $70 controller, but where's do they show this back? It's basically an Xbox.
That's what it looked like. I was gonna say, yeah, it was an Xbox.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
what it
have any-
reminds me
I
of.
guess they don't have any photos of it. I am reluctant to buy a non-official for that price, but everybody who's used it says it's pretty good. So they have a white version too, which looks pretty nice.
I love white, but then I always remember
gets
how
dirty.
dirty it gets. Yeah.
So the official, let's see if the Switch, it's even available. The Zelda
It may not
one.
be. Everything I think's got sold out and shit.
Why though? Just do enough pre-orders for however many people want to buy it. Like what the hell?
You mean the 6 million and shit
Who
on
cares?
the first day?
Make
Like,
6 freaking million.
let's see. Someone's like, bro, you about to fuck that whole wallet up, bro.
So the standard $69.99 doesn't. They have the Smash one. It's obviously through a retail or non-retail for $94. They have a Monster Hunter one for $105. A Splatoon 3 for $100. Xenoblade 2 for $100. Here's the Zelda. I don't know, Monster Hunter Rise again. The Mario Odyssey. No, that's not official. I don't think that's official. Why can't I just pre-order the Zelda one? What is the problem? I don't understand. Like, just make it available. Whoever wants to pre-order it, make that many. Like, what's the issue? I don't even know if I've seen it clearly enough to know if I'd even want it. Let me look up a picture of it.
What was that?
Let's look. It has a white side to it. Why is it white on that side? That looks kind of, I don't like it.
Man, they are so good at hiding stuff within stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been like,
What do you think of
watching
this? I don't like
been
this
watching-
controller.
I've been watching trailers in the background for the last. Like,
So have
20
I.
minutes.
I'm like going so slow. Like, what is this?
What do you guys
Yeah.
think is the reason for this white right grip? That looks stupid to me.
I don't know.
If it's anything, it's because you were right.
It's a
Juice,
spoiler.
and they're two different links, and they represent two different sides.
The light and darkness.
If I could switch that out, I like the rest of it, but I do not like that white grip. It
It's a
just doesn't
spoil-
blend.
That's
It
gonna
just
be
looks-
the dirty side. It's gonna
Listen,
turn gray.
Listen, it's a spoiler. It's a spoiler. Okay.
Yeah.
We can't explain to you the truth until you play the game.
Do you know,
Yeah,
or are you
don't
kidding?
ask questions because you don't want them
Are you
answered.
just messing, or is that real?
I mean, you'll find out in a couple of weeks, won't you?
Still, it just aesthetically doesn't look pleasing. It doesn't match the design.
No, yeah, I can see your point. It's like it almost reminds me of the Smash one, except it's like half and half. I think if the logo kept going on the white, it wouldn't bother me as much.
Yeah, it's just like the logo gets cut off too. It's like,
Yeah.
have no faith with them in controllers. Other than they can't provide enough. I guess I have no issue. I still have my day one Pro controller. I mean, how many hours of Smash do I have? Like 300. I have 300 something in Zelda plus all the other games I played. That's I barely touched my Joy-Cons. I have thousands of hours
You
on
still
that.
got those? Oh, my bad.
Well, I still have my original ones. I sold my OLED ones to get the most I could get for my Switch. So, and it's right here, by the way. You know, I said in the beginning, Metroid Prime Remastered physical launch day was the last time I had the Switch in portable mode. So I looked up that date. I forget what it is.
October something.
Metroid Prime?
Yeah.
Oh, Prime.
The remastered?
Yeah,
The
Prime
physical
remastered.
came out a few weeks after the digital. That's the last time that I bought an OLED thinking I'd play in handheld more, which I think I will with Tears of the Kingdom, but
you got to.
the nice thing I said, I use the kickstand as a place so I don't have to hold the system up with my pinkies. So I can hold the system up like this now.
Oh, nice.
It works, dude. You just close it a little bit, and
I never thought to do that.
because I hate using my pinkies to hold the bottom. So this is a good looking screen. I have an OLED TV, but for anybody that knows, like smaller screens will always look better than a big screen. A 55-inch OLED's gonna look better than a 65-inch OLED if you're close enough. At a distance,
Right.
it won't. It's just because it's just gonna look sharper.
Pixels are denser, or the pixel density. Yeah.
Is this? I can't remember if it let me pick the Swift carrots from this guy's field at night, because you can't during the day. I need some Swift carrots for to upgrade a piece of gear. But anyway, Tears of the Kingdom, man.
Goddamn.
3 weeks. Is it
I'm not
3
gonna
weeks?
lie.
So-
I gotta start looking at reactions, bro. I gotta stop.
Terrell, I think you need to play a little Breath of the Wild before. I think you need to do like 10 shrines or something before this comes out. No,
I'm
That's what I was
debating it.
planning on doing.
do a no fast travel. Like couple stream, try to do like 5 to 10 shrines with no fast travel or something, just to get back in. Cause, I mean, you played a good amount for a non-Zelda fan, but I think there's more out there for you. Finish the Tory Town, whatever.
Oh, we got what? A little bit less than
You
a
can
month.
take a little break
Yeah.
from Elden Ring.
Yeah.
It is weird going from Elden Ring though to you want to dodge roll and you can't.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what the fuck? No.
I
Why
will
am I
say I
hopping?
struggled when I first went back. Now I'm all in with I'm back used to it, so I'm not worried.
Something should be said that we haven't mentioned is the fact that some of the characters from the Breath of the Wild actually help you out.
Oh yeah, the little co-op.
Yeah.
The thing with Sidon, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck
I
are
was.
you doing,
I
man?
gotta say, we should talk about the highlights. So, couple things got me like the most. I don't want to say the most. The things that my first watch that stood out. Seeing Riju doing her best Urbosa impression, that hit me.
You're a bad bitch, yeah.
I think Riju's
Yeah.
like adorable in Breath of the Wild. I love her.
Oh, she is. I love her Age of Calamity interactions with Urbosa because you can tell
Yeah.
she's like starstruck, but she's
Mhm.
also like trying to be
So seeing her
dignified.
a little grown up doing these moves, seeing
I'm like,
Sidon,
shut out.
and then Ganon, of course, that was like
Yeah.
holy shit.
That man was on some. That demon time was hard as fuck.
But just seeing like the sphere revolving and all the just kind of getting a better idea of what you'd be doing in the game,
Mhm.
like the ship, the floating Skyward Sword
Yeah,
looking
that like
ship.
wait, what? Wait,
If
what
you
is
look-
going on here?
There's
Mario
The
Odyssey.
cool-
Yeah.
The coolest shot is the shot of like close up of Link, where you know he's in the air and he's like, when you hear the wind
he's
going
just chilling
by,
on one knee.
and I'm just like, you get all types of bitches. I know you do. I know you do. Looking like that.
Silent ass.
Yeah, what the fuck? Silent what? Because real pimps ain't gotta brag about it, a goddamn thing.
You know what's gonna be disappointing is you have that epic ship fly in.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I was gonna say, and don't say it.
You have this
Don't
epic
say it.
you're on the ship, and then this is the boss.
You're gonna be a fuck boy. Don't do this.
Oh no!
This is the boss.
Oh, why would you do that?
He's gonna take
Here
it.
he comes.
You ain't shit, bro.
This has to be the Wii version. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Wii version.
Get this epic, and then here comes your boss.
My man's look like he came straight
at
out
that
of
aiming.
Monsters
There's-
Inc.
He does like Monsters Inc.
Yeah, he
Booga,
does.
booga, booga.
That was such a letdown. I know Ms. T and I always bring this up. What a letdown for design. You want to talk about Retro Death, and Robert didn't understand my saying when I was talking about the space pirates, the look of them not really fitting with the buildup of reading all their lore, all their notes.
Mm-hmm.
Doing this ship and having these tentacles come up, like when you're trying to get through the ship early on, you're expecting this epic boss, and you see Monsters Inc. Cyclops dreadlock guy. I thought, even back then, I was like, what the fuck is this boss? And then it's just like, I mean, it wasn't bad to fight him. I mean, it was kind of cool. This looks a little jank though, just running around with the sword up, but that's how it went. But just look at this design, like, come on. I mean, it's impressive what they're doing with the Wii, with all the tentacles and stuff. But his arm's a tentacle. He's got like slight small man boobs. Like, it's just weird.
He's Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So that's the other thing. Some potential bosses seen.
Yeah.
Dragon
So,
at the end.
Oh, here's-
Hydro.
Yeah, the dragon. But here's something
Yeah.
else. You know how I might have mentioned this a while back, how people were like, and it was Alana Pierce who got defensive about talking of like, oh, I wonder how the dungeons are going to be in this game. And I'm like, why do you think there's dungeons? There wasn't dungeons in Breath of the Wild. Oh, there was dungeons. And then I did a poll, and 73% said there's dungeons. Almost every reaction to Tears of the Kingdom I watched from people who knew Zelda, it looks like there's dungeons. Dungeons are back. Almost everybody, when they saw that coming out of the sand, oh yeah, dungeons, baby. Like, why are they celebrating dungeons if they were in the last game? You know, why are they so excited about the potential of a dungeon if they were in the last game? Like, get the hell out of here, you know?
Because those dungeons are different. Those are different dungeons.
And it's just funny to me. So,
Yeah.
so much good stuff. I was afraid to show the trailer because Nintendo likes to. The Mario movie, they did it. I doubt they'd do it for this, but I took like 20 screenshots of all the awesome moments, and I shared them in the group chat.
Whoever that Zelda-looking chick is hits the Kamehameha on something.
They're saying, people are saying Goddess Hylia. I think it's the alternate version of Zelda and whatever that, just like the alternate Link.
Mm.
It
could be.
Her ears are reminding me of an older Zelda game though, like an older Zelda design. You know what? Like they're way bigger than.
Yeah, they're a lot longer than what they.
That's like an older. I don't know if it's Ocarina Time. I'm trying to think of which.
Ocarina has her pretty long-eared. Grown-up Zelda.
You get this random alien-looking creature.
Yo, I'm just hype on the fact that my man's hit the Super Mario with the
hit that jump, that wahoo motherfucker.
And it's like, his hand isn't this guy right here. Imagine that's like a different timeline version of Ganondorf, like tricking them, like right here.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
See, that's I got a hoodie on. I'm trying to stay warm. Now I'm wearing different outfits to stay warm. And then you have Wild Link. So that's Shield Rocket.
That's so hard. That looks so hard, dog.
Love this. Let me back up a second.
Donkey Kong moments right there.
Look at the Death Mountain right there. You get a good
Yeah,
view.
it's got the calamity or something coming
Yeah,
out.
like the tendrils.
And look at
Yeah.
this going up. You got the bubbles over here, which they showed earlier. So this might be the equivalent of a dungeon. Just in this, you land on this island, the starting area, and getting to that might be like an outdoor floating platform dungeon. I mean, could be. I don't think I heard anybody say that, but
All that stuff going all the way up there like steps is crazy.
so look at it. Look at his outfit here.
Minecraft section. Where?
I wish I could
here?
zoom in.
Hold on, huh?
He's
My
got.
man's looks
It
like
almost
he's
looks like
warrior
he's
outfit.
wearing like he's got like no shirt with like a kilt,
Yeah, he's a chief. He's a chief of his tribe.
but then the
You get
stone
to see like, them
talus.
defending a village with like the villagers fighting and shit later too.
And look at that creation. Or right here, this is when the music. Shit. Let's go back. He's wearing a cool outfit here too.
I was gonna say that looks
I'm
like
gonna
the
do
other
the
Link.
music. So you hear the back,
Yeah.
the reverse.
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
It's
why
weird
I'm
because this
here.
trailer has a moment where it feels like it ends like twice.
And look at those. The
Yeah.
earrings and everything are like straight up in that other girl. Oh, she's wearing that exact thing. Let's go back to the arrow. 'Cause
Oh,
he's got. Look at his
A
helmet.
ruby.
Like
Yeah, like horns.
almost like. I don't. Is that kind of like the design of the dude who put his hand on Zelda, like in the shirt? It's almost like.
Could be. Yeah, but look at his ear. He is all pierced up.
Yeah. And then that sheath is a new sheath. It's not a sword I've seen. He's got something glowy around his waist there. You can't see his hand, but he's got a ruby attached to his.
I was just gonna say, how do you
My
do
que-
that? Because rubies have
Look at
never
the horse
been-
armor too.
my question is, what does it do when you shoot it?
It drops a bunch of rubies.
You think it's just
No, it's probably it's like glowing too. It's probably for a certain type of enemy. Like I don't know what he'd be. I don't know. It's hard for me to guess. But I mean, and I'm not
so
like
crazy.
I'm not sitting here saying that this doesn't look better than Breath of the Wild from a graphic standpoint. At times it's just a lot of cinematics and stuff, but there's definitely with the cloud system and stuff, it definitely took it to the next level from that standpoint. But just because everything in the sky, from the architecture to the trees, everything looks so different. It's hard to. There's not like a. Damn it!
Her.
It's hard to stop on her. It's like one frame. God damn it! And you can't go back.
Put it on slow, Juice. Put it on slow.
I'll get it right now. Right after this. But no, it's right after this.
There.
A weird spot. God damn it!
You had to time this frame perfect, man.
You mother. I'm gonna get it.
Clicking in advance. Clicking in advance.
I tried. I didn't go back far enough. It's right.
Now, wait.
Oh, I shrunk it. There we go.
There it is.
So it doesn't
That's
have her face,
one-handed
but it's the
command,
same
man.
outfit, same earrings,
Yeah.
same necklace.
Ears are real long.
He's rocking the necklace, the tear thing.
I could believe that's the goddess Hylia.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Green eyes. Zelda have green. I think Zelda has.
I thought Zelda had
Blue
blue
eyes?
eyes.
Let's look. No, green, same color eyes.
Ah.
I'm onto something. I
Hey,
don't need
relax.
Zeltec.
Ah. She's wearing the necklace too.
I don't need
right there in that
Commonwealth
scene.
Realm. Yeah, she's wearing. I don't know about the clothing, the rest of it, but all right. So see that design with the triangles there? That
Yeah.
looked like Link's design on when he was drawing the ruby arrow. Where was that? Now we gotta find that again. It's right after this. Here we go. See, it's got the triangles.
Yep.
But it's so funny. This is a different trailer, but I'm still incorporating Breath of the Wild moments when Daruk said, "Here we go," is like right at the
Yeah.
same like point, pivotal point in that trailer. Obviously, that's like the boss of that tornado.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that hair with Zelda. She even got the same thing on her forehead as that other
Yeah.
girl.
It could be Hylian then.
Let my boy Ganon show off real quick.
Don't look away. Witness
Yeah.
the rising
By the
of a
way,
king or whatever.
Fun fact. Fucking Ganon's voice actor is Matthew Mercer, who also voices Crom and Fang.
You witness
So-
a king's revival.
You witness a king's revival.
That yell is hard as hell.
I could have done that
Yeah.
though. I could have done that voice.
Wow.
I would have done it for free.
Go sell them short.
Oh my god. You just wanted
Go
the
sell
credit
them
in the
short.
game.
So what do you think that yellow beam is? Cutting through the
wave.
sand.
That's like I told you. That's the Kamehameha right there. One hit.
Yeah.
You think they wanted you to think it was coming from her hand? Because they cut right from her hand glowing to that.
Oh yeah, it does look like
Look
it's
at
from
her.
two different areas though. She looks like she's on a
I
platform.
like
in
the
that.
squad. Yeah, let's go. It's my boy
See?
Sidon. Fire.
Yeah.
Why,
Squat up.
Why are we skipping past fucking
Ooh.
Riju? though?
Ooh. Ooh, get him.
Look at that girl.
Ooh. I like how you nailed that.
I like
scene
the way
immediately.
she moves. No diggity.
I like the way she moves.
Look at that. She's on a
I like
platform
the
in that.
way
Oh
she
no,
Look
no,
at those.
no, no.
Are those
Like that.
Maldugas or?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are my
Yep.
dudes. Damn.
Look at this
Them
girl.
motherfuckers
My
fly.
God.
Is she older?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
older.
Like how much?
Terrell, you have to guide me to some good sites. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
They're
We'll
probably
talk
not
about
ready yet.
Yeah, you gotta give it some time. We gotta get more cutscenes and some moments to justify
That is-
a bunch of.
That animation is.
Let
That's
me
like
ask you a question.
Bayonetta. Bayonetta.
Is it- Are you on that? Are you still Team Riju or Team Urbosa?
I always like Riju better.
Damn, that's
So-
balls. Look at my boy Silent, swing it, swing on him.
That's very
Swing
Age of
on 'em.
Calamity.
Yeah, that's so,
He said the finisher.
that's so hard. That's so hard. He swung that bitch like.
She looks. Riju looks a little different there. We got Tabon's son or whatever his name is. I think it's Tabon. T-Bon. Why is
T-Bon.
his son fighting and not him?
Well, he could be in the background. We don't
Look
know.
at that girl. She's got the Master Sword there. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, she has.
You ain't catch her
We
rubbing
might
on
as
the
well,
master
you know,
sword like that.
We might as well go
You
back.
ain't catch her. You ain't catch how she was rubbing on the master sword.
I didn't, but now I did. All right, I'll be right back, guys. You keep continue without me. I'll be back in 5.
Giggity giggity.
He reminds me of something. I can't place it right now though. That design, cutting the tree there.
Oh,
Something from
Star
like a
Wars.
movie or something. But yeah, this how chill Link is. Like, yep, I'm not even worried. This is
yeah, I like how they side
normal
view
day here. But what's on his waist there? That was on the other Link's waist too. That must be some kind of
Yeah.
the Sheikah Slate replacement. He's got the
Just the way
glove.
he
That's
drops
just-
down like
yeah,
that.
he's just like, that's how I'm gonna do it. Fuck it.
that.
I'm not gonna do the skydive. I'm just gonna do that.
All the way till you get to the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Last second hit the parasail. No.
Like I said, later in the scene, you
Oh, it's
see
in
the,
slow motion. Listen. Sounds
That actually
8-bit.
that sounds low-key fire.
Yeah, it's the 8-bit version.
Oh, look at how the rest of the Master Sword is like technology.
Digitized. Yeah.
That's cool. Because earlier in one of the earlier trailers, it was broken off. So that's from
So,
when Ganondorf grabs it with the malice.
so I wonder if they're gonna fix the Master Sword by doing something like that.
They're gonna meet Fi or Fee. You know what? Like I said, I don't watch those videos. Somebody probably said
What's that
this.
glowing thing at the bottom?
That's the
I don't.
tower.
I've been wondering
Those are
this
the
for the longest
towers.
time. What
You
is
think,
that
that's
tower?
you think that's the top?
Mm-hmm. Those are the tower replacements. I'm saying.
Mm.
But anyway, Ganon or Malice wraps around Link's arm while he's holding the Master Sword. I bet he draws the power from that to resurrect Ganondorf. I'm sure that's like everybody's theory. I didn't check this out paused yet. So
Look at the village now.
it's like a bear. It almost looks like a bear head, but it's like mushroom spores. There's Link. There's Wild Link. This guy's got a cool hat there. It's like a sombrero almost.
Yeah.
Multicultural.
You still got the row of pines, the 3 pines in a row. But look at the top of Mount Lanero. Lanera. There's like a tower up there. That's cool. Having a tall tower on the top of a peak. That's sweet. Yeah, I didn't really slow-mo and break this down. Sorry, we're gonna do that now though.
You got to.
Little camp setup. I thought that's a cool
That
idea.
would be sweet if there's more than just this camp.
They haven't done much though. Hopefully, almost like Xenoblade Chronicles, you can by the end of the game you can have this all built back up.
Yeah.
Something obviously.
What is that?
Something fell from the sky there. Kakariko looks a little worse for the wear. I kind of feel like these are gonna be almost like shrines. These glowing things. Everyone said this is the area that was the dark area in the Breath of the Wild, the area covered in black.
I was gonna say that's the area that they showed off like way
Yeah,
back
but
when, and the original.
all the diehard lore people says this is the area that's covered in nightness or covered in darkness that you have to get through. But it does look like the first opening area with the whole. But
yeah, that original trailer with
it looks like that. But there's no wooden bridge and it's surrounded by swamp and not regular water.
Yeah.
But they must be showing that for some significance. I wish I could get these epic camera shots when I play the game. Just set it on swooping camera mode.
What is that? That almost looks like a tornado.
See,
in the
I don't
sky.
even. Yeah, I didn't recognize the rock there. So almost everybody who knew what they were watching saw this and said, "Dungeons are back! Dungeons are back!" And I kind of.
Yeah,
I feel that way. I feel that's legit. Hopefully,
that looks legit.
hopefully Ganondorf's origins are in the desert.
Well, it should be.
And I think Malice is the one in the castle.
Mm.
Not Malice. Demise.
Demise.
I had Malice on the brain. That looks. Look at that shot, dude. And you got almost like, is that the Great Plateau?
That's hard.
They're all blown away.
This is Demise. This is not the same dude. This is not what Ganondorf's wearing. That's not the back of his hair because he doesn't have long hair like that. That's fucking Demise.
And they cut it so you don't get the whole piece.
Well, of course. You still got
Link.
I love how slow mo that actually works really well. So.
It was already in slow mo. So his hand's corrupted. He's already lost the sword. That looks like Princess Mononoke. Like scars on his arm.
That light.
That light's coming. That's what teleports her to the other, wherever she ends up. See, this area here, I noticed looked a little.
That's got to be a dungeon, right?
That looks so cool, honestly. I like the whole structure. That boat's kind of hard too, but it looks like there's multiple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's like a fucking armada.
You'll see them all, like the regular boats right here. Not this one. There's another shot where you see them. You got the wingsuit.
Oh my god!
Resident Evil the movie reference right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were going for.
Pachinko balls. Pachinko machine or whatever it's called. This is pretty cool. I never swung I never had a spear while riding a horse, because I think you can do that in the original.
Oh, can you?
Mm-hmm. This thing, like, what the hell? That's a creepy.
Like Dragon Lady. But hey, whoa.
What?
Those are like the ears, are they not? Like the ears that
that looks like hair to me.
I'm trying to make out the face. That was the main thing. I can't tell how much that's.
That's almost like
Hold on, is that a
whatever costume
could be a
he was wearing
mask.
before?
Almost looks like a Lizalfo or something with the horns and the nose has a spike.
I need to see it from like a different
Is
angle.
that the dude talking to Zelda?
That looks like
Is
a
that
woman
his
to
race?
me.
Yeah,
I bet that's the same race though.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
That's creepy though. Like that's nightmare fuel right there.
I just need to see more of it.
I love this. There's a reason they cut to like Epona rearing up there.
Because Epona is back, confirmed.
There's a method to I think every shot. This thing looks cool. So here you have your hoodie Link wearing his layers.
Gang.
There's a close up of the thing around his waist too. It's always the 4 things glowing because at first I was like, are those batteries for the technology? But
oh, maybe that's a scene of the past. Maybe you get the past scene part of the past.
Oh, it could be.
Because that looked like the castle, but the castle.
You notice like the color tone here is. I don't think it's just the stone. I think they're purposely making it. I mean, she's obviously in color, but
something's opening.
No more yoga pants for Zelda in this game.
No, a serious Zelda.
We don't need that in slow motion. Yeah, I can't wait. Terrell, I'm curious what if this game will hit you any differently than Breath of the Wild.
Just look at that.
I'm not gonna give you any confirmation until I gotta get my hands.
That's
on
a Goron. I was like, man, that's like a Demon Souls.
I had to watch it like 5 times.
Do you think that's a boss fight or
nah? See, there's more of a ships flying. I love this. This was another cool moment. Seeing that. That's obviously the wheels are being held together with the fuse. See, they didn't focus on really any of the moves. This is like the only time, really the only time you see.
I do like that you can fuck up a Nocturok.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, bitch, what you thought? Jaeger. That shit's hard as fuck.
There's the rocket shield.
That's so hard.
That's so dope.
That's hard as fuck.
Is that
plus ultra?
Was that the island?
My question is, could you turn it horizontal and like fly straight?
Yeah, this is that island where you lost all your gear. I forget the name of Eventide.
Oh,
yeah,
the one
this
with
is
the
Eventide.
Okay, the shrine itself. Yeah.
I wonder how high that lets you go.
That's what I'm saying. Look how
my other question is, who the fuck is out here making rockets? That's a better question.
Yeah, it wouldn't be cool if you could take that all the way up to the.
Here's my question:
this is a big area here too.
Why do you think you're doing the anti-gravity jump in that particular section? Is it the rocks or is it the area itself?
I don't know.
Or do you have a power now that you can?
I love how that arm is just kind of like on this like weirdly controlled.
All
right, we're back to sorry. All right. I think we got plenty more to talk about in the coming weeks.
Now everybody else is here, man.
But
like, bro.
Hopefully this was a positive podcast for people's enjoyment.
Did you like it, guys?
Let us know.
Where my money at?
Get it in slow motion. That thing didn't look as cool.
What the rocket?
No, the ice dragon thing coming out of the tornado.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot I ended the stream. Or not the stream, but the share.
Oh.
It just,
No.
It looks more, it's just pretty, I don't know. Looks a little.
Some things work better in different shots. Cool. Also,
it'll be cooler when it's.
He's all like
you're not gonna get, everything's not gonna look badass in slow-mo. You gotta be selective with it.
Ayers is funny. He said people gonna be making Megazords with Ultra Hands. I definitely will. You better watch out.
You wouldn't surprise me, actually.
Make that.
I bet you're gonna be able to make like. You're not gonna be able to make.
What's
super
the cap?
I don't think you're gonna make super detailed. Like it's gonna look like a recognizable robot or something. Like that's what's the mobile suit Gundam Prime. Or something? Oh, that's Gundam. Oh, like no, you're gonna make very arbitrary shapes. I feel. But all right, let's wrap this up. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And Game Freak, please take notes.
How dare you?
But we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Later days.
Peace.